I've had all these opportunities because somebody said yes to me.
Live life to the fullest with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that supports people with disabilities throughout their lives. Connect with a real-time navigator at thinkabilitywi.org today.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
My USPS Ground Advantage package just left the warehouse. I get all the updates. Stay in the know with USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit usps.com/in-the-know.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Tonight, the Bucks and Kuzma cash in at Washington.
Inbound pass to Kuzma, catches it, lays it off the window, and good. And the Bucks will have the last laugh.
Our coverage starts at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, February 21st, our top story. SRO funding approved by MPS.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, outrage in Israel.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. So far, so good. We do have one accident westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange off on the right shoulder, but volume's light enough that we're not seeing too many issues. We are seeing a few other disabled vehicles around the area. On 41, we've got one on northbound at North Avenue, and then we've got on 894 westbound at 27th Street. All these are out of traffic, but just keep that in mind. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny skies today, a high of 28 degrees, mostly clear overnight. Colder temperatures, lakeside low at 12, 7 degrees. Your inland low temperature right now at 13 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
Milwaukee Public Schools advancing funding needed to return school resource officers under a court order to school buildings.
The Board of School Directors approves nearly $800,000 to cover half the cost of re-implementing SROs. This after Milwaukee County Judge David Borowski ordered MPS and the city to split the cost 50-50 and have a plan before February 27th. Board President Marva Herndon reiterating the board's stance on what happens now.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
Interim Superintendent Eduardo Galvan says the plan has been forwarded to the city attorney's office. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
As MPS prepares for the installation of Dr. Brenda Caselius, former leaders looking back at how the organization found itself in such dire straits, former MPS Superintendent Bill Andrikopoulos tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News how he thinks the district evolved since he retired.
In the last 15 years, there's been significant change in leadership in the district, principal leadership, district office leadership. A lot of people are retired, and the people that have come up the ranks to fill those positions just don't have the experience that the other people have.
Andrikopoulos says that MPS deciding to leave 11% of its workforce vacant is also hurting the district.
Governor Tony Evers' proposed budget includes roughly $2 billion in tax cuts to low and middle income families, but TMJ4 News chief political correspondent Charles Benson says state Republicans will most likely shoot that part down.
That's where things get rewritten by Republicans who still have the majority in the Assembly and still have the majority in the Senate. So I think what's going to be interesting is always that battle around what sort of tax cuts will there be, who will get them.
Benson says Republicans may approve the proposals Republicans might approve would be focused more on funding towards special education.
The Milwaukee area's top federal prosecutor is out of a job. Gregory Honstead was removed from his position as U.S. Attorney for Wisconsin's Eastern District. That, according to the DOJ, that move comes as President Trump continues removing the Biden-era judges and prosecutors from office.
Federal judge has cleared the way for the Trump administration to continue shrinking government's workforce. News Nation's Tom Dempsey.
President Donald Trump's team and the Department of Government Efficiency scored a legal win with the federal judge coming out and saying that those mass layoffs and those federal buyout offers can continue. This was a lawsuit that was filed by multiple different labor unions in federal court, and it called on the court to block the mass firings and buyout offers to federal workers. The unions believe this effort by President Trump and DOJ violates the separation of powers.
Estimated more than 18,000 federal workers have been shown the door since the Trump administration took over about a month ago.
Outrage in Israel this morning. Israeli officials say the remains handed over to them by Hamas of hostages were not the remains remains of one of those hostages.
Israel's prime minister this morning is promising revenge after officials in Israel say one of the 4 bodies handed over by Hamas was not that of Shiri Bibas. Israeli officials say they don't know whose remains they are. In his statement, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the cruelty of Hamas knows no bounds. Hamas says her remains were mixed with other victims buried in the rubble of a building. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
Delta Airlines says it needs to set the record straight. They say there's misinformation being reported about the pilots of that regional jet that crashed while landing in Toronto.
After the Delta Airlines regional jet operated by Endeavour Air flipped and caught fire on the runway, social media has lit up with what Delta Airlines says is misinformation. Now it's believed as fact by some. Delta Airlines says, contrary to some claims, the first officer was not brand new. She was hired over a year ago and had been flying since she finished training last April, and the claims she failed training events are false. The captain was hired in 2007, had worked training pilots, and claims that he too had failed training events are also false. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Coming up, more concerning news on the climate front. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Barrett Center, the 22nd through the 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Giannis returns as the Bucks find themselves on the back end of a back-to-back right out of the All-Star break. We got sports at 6:15.
A ban on transgender athletes from the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association will only allow athletes designated as females at birth to compete in girls' competitions. The executive director, Stephanie Hauser, on with WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
We desire to be in compliance with the federal government. And so therefore the board did take a vote yesterday to come into compliance, and they replaced our old policy with a revised policy, which does match what the president has signed into order.
This follows a similar policy change from the NCAA. Now, the WIAA policy says transgender athletes will be allowed to participate and practice in a girls' sport, just not compete.
This spring will mark the final graduation ceremony for Northland College in Ashland.
Declining enrollment and soaring costs have led the private environmental liberal arts college to close its doors. Interim President Barb Lundberg tells WTMJ the focus now is supporting students.
Having a transfer and teach out fair, sessions on completing applications and financial aid.
She hopes the college's 133 years on the shores of Lake Superior will have a lasting legacy on
the students it serves, definitely, but also, an impact on our region and the flavor that you feel when you're up here.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
More disquieting developments on the climate front.
A massive new study finds climate change is accelerating the melting of the world's mountain glaciers. They're shrinking twice as fast now as they were in the early 2000s. Glaciers in Alaska are melting the fastest, but the smaller glaciers of Central Europe are shrinking fast too. The Alps are now 39% smaller than they were in the year 2000, and scientists worry they could eventually disappear. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:10.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Chef in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:10.
All right. Well, we do have an accident on westbound 94 at Highway 175, basically right in the middle of the stadium interchange. It is off on the right shoulder, so you should be able to get past it. Volume's relatively light everywhere else. Not seeing too many other delays. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today with high temperatures in the upper 20s. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures in the single digits inland, lower teens near the lake. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 20s, near 30 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures in the mid to upper 30s as we finally get above freezing. A couple weak systems will head our way. The first one late Sunday night into Monday morning. Another one by Monday evening could bring a couple raindrops and a light mix with high temperatures in the 40s. More 40s on Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 13 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
6:12, happy Friday. Vince, there's only one man that could cause this much excitement.
Happening today.
Only one man could prompt everyone to get fired up in New York City, to run to the city to show their support for him, and it is an accused murderer, Luigi Mangione.
Oh, they're expecting big crowds for his court thing today?
They are concerned about this. The man accused and arrested in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson will be back in court later today.
He's going to be walking down that hallway into a courtroom, and we hope to hear some kind of a schedule for his upcoming trial. Our reporting at CBS News indicates that this New York State case, where he faces the most charges, will take precedence in that respect. I mean, will come first before the federal trial.
That's CBS correspondent Anna Schechter there. So Mangione will be in court. He's facing 3 separate charges, one in New York federal court and then one in Pennsylvania. That one's been postponed for now. They're just going to worry about these other 2. He does have support, believe it or not.
Mangione has a huge following. He set up his own webpage. He's raised almost $500,000 for his defense.
That's former federal prosecutor and law professor Lori Levinson with that. So he's got a lot of money. He's got a pretty good high-profile lawyer as well. The supporters, will it matter? Everything always seems different when you're in court versus public opinion outside sometimes. But this will be, not a concern isn't the right word, but it's something that they're paying attention to today. Will we see supporters come out again today to scream to him, yell to him, if they can even get eye contact with him, if he's even outside to be seen?
Well, it's not uncommon for people who just are obsessed with murderers, mass murderers, whatever.
Right.
Like that's not new. The fact that there's this other faction of people who are happy about what he did,
what he's
because
accused
of their
doing.
various grievances with the healthcare system, with insurance companies, all of that. That part is new and different and swelling this group of supporters.
So among the many things happening on this Friday, lots of attention in New York for Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old who's been charged with first-degree murder and terrorism.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Want to see what it'll look like? Get started now at lifetimedoor.net. Vince Vitrano here, loving my new Made in America Haas garage door from Lifetime. And my wife and I, we were able to see exactly what it would look like by going online, using pictures of our actual garage, and then playing with all the different options using Lifetime's online software. Different colors, different styles. Windows, no windows. How about hardware? Change it in, change it out, and there's no guesswork. Then you visit the showroom just north of 124th and Burleigh, and the team will walk you through everything, including your options for a new door opener. Tell them Vinny sent you. Lifetime Door Company will knock 5% off the cost of any door or service. Get started online now at lifetimedoor.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks off the All-Star break right into a back-to-back. Play again tonight in Washington. Giannis did go Thursday night and led the Bucks back from a deep hole going into the fourth.
Giannis drives the other way, runs into a crowd. He gets fouled, but he lays it in anyway. The Greek Freak is recharging and recalibrating. His team is back to within 10 again, riding his oversized shoulders with 21 points now.
Dave Kane on the call on WTMJ. Giannis played half the game. Led the Bucks with 23 points as they beat the Clippers 116-110 at Fiserv Forum. Bucks and Wizards tonight. That's a 6 p.m. tip.
So no Bobby for 25 games. Bobby Portis suspended for violating the league's drug policy. Bucks president Peter Feigin reacting to the news right after it happened on WTMJ's Wisconsin's Midday News. He says Bobby screwed up.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Feigin called it a one-time mistake. He says it has extremely tough consequences, of course. So tomorrow marks the very first Brewers broadcast of the season. Right here on WTMJ.
Nice, we're back.
Spring training action for your Brewers. And, of course, going to be different now, knowing that Mr. Baseball is gone. Now, Jeff Levering spoke to WTMJ's Dom Catronio in Arizona about what it's going to sound like tomorrow.
I'll come on the air on Saturday. I'm sure I'll say something briefly. Lane and I will probably talk about Bob for a moment or two. But there's a game that needs to be played. There are lineups that need to be announced. And his presence will be felt all throughout the course of the season. I know that.
Yeah. Also, we should mention this, too. Some breaking broadcasting news regarding baseball. ESPN says its TV partnership with MLB is over after this season. They've been together for a long time. Got Sunday Night Baseball and all the other stuff they do.
And we're on ESPN for our opening day against the Yankees. Right?
Yeah. The Four Nations Championship goes to the Canadians. Canada beats U.S. 3-2 in overtime. In hockey, Connor McDavid, your game winner. That's how it sounded on ESPN. The culmination of a round-robin style tournament. It was part of the National Hockey League's All-Star break. Pretty neat. You could argue that it worked out fairly well. McDavid wins it there and says he was so excited about everything.
It's a great game. It's a great sport. And I hope we put on a good show these last couple days and gain some fans. You know, ultimately, you can't ask for a better show than that.
And by the way, national anthem controversy. We'll have it at 6:45.
Lots of college sports on the docket tonight and into the weekend. UWM at Youngstown State.
Bullseye!
Scotty Warris will be on the call. That's an 8 p.m. tip on 101.7 The Truth. Marquette on the road tonight at Villanova. That's a 6 p.m. tip. Homer and Tony Smith will take you there on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
And go put our best foot forward.
Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday.
And thanks for the pretzel, Coach. You got it. Thank you, guys.
Badgers basketball, Oregon in town for an 11 p.m. tip at the Kohl Center in Madison on Saturday. Women's hockey, the number one team in the land. Badgers close out the regular season at Bemidji State. That's a 3 p.m. game today, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
What is high sticking?
The guy take the stick, and he go like that. You don't do that.
And the men host Notre Dame on the ice. Puck drops at 7:30 both tonight and tomorrow night. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
While the Wizards have had a brutal year, at least they stay on brand by making all their wins disappear.
The Hoopers in our nation's capital went a full month without winning a game. It's not even American.
The Bucks head to D.C. to take on the Wizards.
Pocket pass to Giannis, who soars in and plunges it through with a one-hand slam.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings, my pals from Burlington, Wisconsin, the awnings and screenings experts. They service all of Southeast Wisconsin and Northern Illinois. How do I know? Debbie, how do you know? Well, I had them come out and install a beautiful custom awning on my home. Now I have extended living space in my backyard for when it gets a little bit nicer. Yes, I'm staring out the window going, I cannot wait to start using this again. Spring's coming around really quickly too, and now is a great time to get your awning installed to have it ready once the temperatures warm up. You can enjoy your shade in the backyard, extending your living space as well. Offering it right now until the end of February, you'll receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano.
John Mercure here.
Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice? Get used to it.
Talk all things Windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della from Pella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
At 6:22, how do the roads look, Deb?
Well, we have that accident in the middle of the stadium interchange on westbound 94. Just be careful with that. It is off on the right shoulder, so you should be able to get past it without much of a problem. As a matter of fact, volume is pretty light across the rest of the system anyway, so everything is looking just fine, your typical Friday morning. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Nice winter day today. Sunny, a high of 28. Tonight, clear, a low of 7. Saturday, 29's your high. Sunday, cloudy, a high of 38. Could see a rain-snow mix Sunday night. Monday, cloudy, a high of 43 with a chance for rain Monday evening. Tuesday, 44. Right now, 12 degrees at 6:22.
Man, if you're a skier, snowmobiler, snowshoer, tuber, whatever it is that you want to do, that's some pretty good winter weather, right? Because it's been so cold. We finally got the snow, and then all of a sudden it's too cold to go out, right? So good-looking weekend for you. This is American Heart Month, and congenital heart disease is something that we talk about, a general term for a range of birth defects that can affect the normal way your heart works. And Greg Matzik is sharing the story of a heart mom who continues to draw inspiration from her heart warrior daughter.
Lori Jones has many titles. She's on the board of directors for the Children's Heart Foundation. She's the chairman of the marketing committee and secretary. Her most significant title?
Mom, which is the most important, right?
Parents of children with congenital heart disease become heart moms and heart dads. Lori learned of her unexpected title while pregnant with her second daughter, Riley.
I found out at a routine exam, I was 24 weeks pregnant, that her heart rate was half the rate it should be. They rushed me to the hospital. Nobody really knew what was going on. And then they finally figured out that she had complete congenital heart block.
Congenital heart block is a rare condition that affects the heart's electrical system, which controls and coordinates its pumping function. In infants, this process is slowed or completely interrupted. The Jones family was left uncertain of their daughter's future.
I was told that there was, hope. She would be okay, but she would probably need a pacemaker and need some sort of intervention. And at 1 year, she did need a pacemaker.
A 1-year-old child with a pacemaker for life.
When a child has a pacemaker at an early age, it's sort of a catch-22. It helps them, but it's also can cause weakness for the left ventricle. She could get a new pacemaker down the road in a few years. But that's one of the things with, these kids is they get something, maybe a fix, but then it's going to hurt their liver, it's going to hurt their kidneys, it's going to have some other repercussion.
I mentioned Lori Jones has many titles. Well, she's also an author of a children's book, Riley's Heart Machine, inspired by her daughter.
It was after her pacemaker surgery, and it was about a year later, and I started just feeling worried for her. We got over that hump. We had the medical intervention, but then it was like, well, what's going to happen down the road? What if she feels bad that she has something wrong with her and something different about her? So I just started writing, and I ended up drafting the first draft of it, and then eventually published in 2012. I take it to schools, I visit with kids, and I love it.
Today, Riley is doing her best to live a fulfilling teenage life.
She does do dance. She's an artist.
Daily heart medication, a pacemaker, and surgeries are the norm, but so is school, friends, and the joy of being a teenager. The result of funding and research.
That is definitely the number one thing that we want to see, better outcomes for these children in surgeries, to live longer, and not just live longer, but quality of life.
Lori Jones has many titles. Her daughter can best be described in one way.
When we found this out about her, I looked it up, and I think Riley means courage, and I was like, this is perfect. Picked the perfect name for her.
Does she know she's an inspiration?
Yes, she does. She definitely does.
Riley is currently a 19-year-old college freshman, as Greg indicated. And boy, as parents, that story probably gave you chills. You never want even the smallest thing, right, to be a concern for your children, particularly when they're little or as they continue to grow older. But I've always said we've been blessed with great doctors and great nurses, great research institutions here in Southeast Wisconsin. If there's going to be an issue with your child, this is a pretty good place to be because we have the best docs and nurses to get on it. Riley, as I said, 19 years old, college freshman, doing well. CHD, by the way, remains the most common birth defect in the United States. It affects about 40,000 babies each year. It is 6:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Time for news about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management's market update. Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbled 451 points to 44,177 in trading on Thursday. That was just over 1%. The NASDAQ down almost 100 points to 19,962. And the S&P 500 closed at 6118. That was down 27 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, it's the weekend. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free, even on the weekend. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, my favorite place. The Friday fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Choice steaks, delicious seafood, mouthwatering pasta. The pecan-crusted walleye is so good. All the entrees are buy one, get one free. Desserts, too. Including that chocolate cake. Buy one, get one free. De-stress with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. They've got 20 great bourbons, over 100 fine wines, and those 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Fantastic. Saturday night, your second prime rib dinner is free, only at the Fox and Hounds. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you can eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner right near Holy Hill. Call and reserve your free dinner this weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, February 21st, our top story. Big old apartment fire in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad. 6 figures in SRO funding.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Westbound 94 still has that accident right in the middle of the stadium interchange, off on the right shoulder. You're okay. You should be able to get past it without much of a problem. I'm really not seeing any other delays around the area, so everything is aces. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 28 degrees today under sunny skies. That feels nice. Mostly clear tonight. Lakeside low will be at 12. A little bit colder if you're away from Lake Michigan. And for Saturday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 29. Right now, wind chill just below zero in Milwaukee with an air temp of 13.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowing revenge after one of the bodies turned over by Hamas this week turned out not to be the woman they claimed it was. Mother Shiri Bibas. Instead, it was a Gaza woman. Bibas's 2 sons were turned over. Republican senators pushing through a $340 billion budget framework in an all-night session. The man accused of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, Luigi Mangione, is in court today. ABC's Janice Hughes at the courthouse.
In court today, the judge is expected to ask the defense and prosecution for an update on the exchange of evidence and could also set a trial date for when this is all moving forward. Keep in mind, Mangione is also facing charges in Pennsylvania. And of course, he's facing those federal charges. And if convicted of those federal charges, he could be facing the death penalty.
An 11-year-old girl from the Galveston, Texas area dying by suicide after being bullied at school over her family's immigration status. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
Nearly 24 people safe this morning, but without a place to stay at the moment. Large apartment fire on Milwaukee's northwest side. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
Vince, a lot of firefighting efforts starting to wrap up now this morning. The fire happening about 2 hours ago at the Willow Court Apartments. This is near 89th and Lynx, just east of Highway 145. Crews say the blaze concentrated on the second floor of the building, 20 residents inside. But crews say everyone was able to get out safely. That fire's cause still under investigation.
Meanwhile, one person dead after a shooting overnight on the northwest side. A 23-year-old. This was near 95th and Brown Deer Road. No one in custody this morning.
Under court order to do so, funds for school resource officers are a go at Milwaukee Public Schools. Thursday night special meeting, the Board of School Directors voted unanimously to provide half of the cost of paying the SROs. MPS agreeing to pay about $800,000 as part of splitting the cost 50-50 as ordered by Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge David Borowski. The interim superintendent, Eduardo Galvan, says the district's plan has now been forwarded to the city attorney's office.
A change in leadership for Milwaukee Public Schools slated to start in the next few months with the installation of Dr. Brenda Caselius. Now, former MPS Superintendent Bill Andrikopoulos tells WTMJ that members of the school board not focused on improving programming for students has led to this district-wide dysfunction.
I once had a school board member tell me after I told him that, I will make decisions and bring my expertise of what's in the best interest of students. She told me, hey, look, I make decisions based on what's in the best interest of adults because they're the ones that elect me. So I think that sums it up.
Caselius' term, by the way, begins in July.
Governor Tony Evers targeting more money to education and targeted tax cuts in his biennial budget proposal. TMJ4 News chief political reporter Charles Benson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News while the governor has had a hard time getting budgets approved by state Republicans in the past, he has been able to pull off some compromises.
I think as you watch this all unfold, which should be now over the next several months, the goal is always to have a budget sometime by the end of June. And I think that will help us determine just where he might be willing to compromise when it comes to the Republicans, which he's done in the past around tax cuts.
A Republican-led legislature now going to work on the budget proposal. The deadline to approve a 2-year state budget is at the end of June.
Additional funding for the Wisconsin State Arts Board, also part of the state budget proposal. Imagine MKE Executive Director Christine Honacki tells What's on Tap that the proposal may provide filmmakers many benefits and incentives that Wisconsin lacks.
Basically, we are 1 in 4 states that do not have a film office and 1 in 13 that don't have incentives. So what does that mean? It basically means that we're missing out on that economic impact.
Currently, Wisconsin only provides 18 cents per capita to the Wisconsin State Arts Board to expand and celebrate arts within the state.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Coming up, what's with that baby?
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Looking to escape the winter chill? Fox World Travel has you covered. Whether it's an all-inclusive vacation with Apple Vacations, a luxurious Princess Cruise, or a European adventure with Globus and Avalon, we create unforgettable experiences just for you. Enjoy last-minute deals, exclusive offers, and personalized itineraries. From booking to boarding, we handle all the details for a stress-free trip. Ready to get out of the cold? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO to start planning your getaway today.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ's Home Improvement Showcase, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
The new guy dropping long-range threes for the Bucks. We got sports at 6:45.
So when do you need to take the baby out? Woman on TikTok is exploding now. Her videos of her getting married at a wedding and in the background.
But I'm the only one that knows them. And one of the questions I asked was, when did you know you were in love and wanted to spend the rest of your life together as husband and wife?
So that's one of their close friends who is the officiant, if you will.
Yeah,
While they're
sure.
holding hands, looking at each other, he's speaking, they're gazing into each other's eyes.
I'm incredibly honored to be up here with you both today. For those of you who don't know, my wife Hope and I had the privilege of leading Josh and Claire through premarital
So
counseling.
at what point?
Before that,
we spent about 8
Like
weeks
the no. Once I heard the no, I'm like,
that's not a baby.
that's a young toddler who probably needs to get taken out of there immediately.
For sure.
The crying baby definitely distracted me and left me feeling disrespected, said Claire Kendall Tates, a 25-year-old who was at the wedding and getting married. It happened in Texas. New York Post and others have the story as well, and it's causing quite the stir for those who go to weddings, hold weddings, get married, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, so look, you've been in church, you've been at the restaurant, any other sort of situation where when one of your kids starts, particularly when they're really young, where it's crying baby, actually, right?
Yep.
And you look at your wife and she looks back at you, and the look is, which one of us is about to leave here with that crying child? Because it has to be one of us, right?
Her mother tried to intervene on her behalf, but to no avail. I looked at my mom, and she was gesturing to the guest to take the baby out. So
Which you shouldn't have to do.
So he stepped out for a second, but he came right back inside. In fact, multiple guests reportedly asked the parent to leave, only for him to refuse because he drove 10 hours to see the wedding. Dad demanded. Most dads would be like, all right, I'm out.
I'll take care of it.
Sure, I'll go sit in the car if you want me to.
We'll go outside just for everyone else's good.
Oh, yeah. So
6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
It's one of the few home improvement projects where you ultimately save money getting the work done. With USA Insulation, the savings starts immediately. Homes lose 35% of their energy through the walls. Many homes built before 1980 have little to no insulation as part of that original construction. So USA Insulation will fill those walls with premium injection foam that's so much more efficient than the other types of insulation. Plus, they don't have to tear out your walls in order to do it. Most jobs done in as little as a day, and every job starts saving you money right now. Jeff and his team can save you thousands on the work by walking you through discounts and rebates that are available to most homeowners. Get in touch now with USA Insulation. That's usainsulation.net.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity, and when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best, and that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semper Fi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground, and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
At 6:41, let's check in on the roads here. Debbie, what do you see?
Everything's looking good right now. That accident in the stadium interchange has finally been cleared, so everything is reopened and moving along just fine. It was before, too, by the way. We got light volume for the most part across the rest of the system, so all is well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today with high temperatures in the upper 20s. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures in the single digits inland, lower teens near the lake. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 20s, near 30 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures in the mid to upper 30s as we finally get above freezing. A couple weak systems will head our way. The first one late Sunday night into Monday morning. Another one by Monday evening could bring a couple raindrops and a light mix with high temperatures in the 40s. More 40s on Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 13 degrees. 6:42 this Friday morning. So the family business. Maybe one of the oldest would be the family farm, right? Been in the family for generations. Or your family's in the car business, or artisans of some sort. Do you run the bakery for many generations? Okay, keeping the family business going, though, through generations is a challenge, not only from the standpoint of running a successful business, but also, do the kids want to do it? Do they want to keep doing this and keep that family business as their profession? So some unique perspective on that from one of our partners here at WTMJ. Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. You hear me talk about them. 4 generations, 97 years strong, right? So it's Marty Kay and his daughter, Randy, deeply involved in the business. Libby Collins had them on. And Marty, who's 3rd generation in the business, talked about how he started at Built Right, not quite old enough even to get a driver's license.
I came into our business when I was 12 years old, and I just loved being able to do anything. I mean, it would start with riding along in the truck, learning how to shift with the wrong hand, learning the city before the freeway system.
You were driving when you were 12?
No, I wasn't driving. I was sitting in the passenger. Learning how to shift. He used to get picked up at school. The
the Built
High
Right delivery
school.
truck would pick him up at high school and take him to the store after.
And I would start delivering. I could drive the truck at 15.
I think there's a statute of limitations. I wouldn't worry about that.
Well, there's all kind of exemptions when you're SOB, son of boss.
Most family businesses really don't last through the fourth generation, right? And beyond, but Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses an exception. Marty Kay and his daughter Randy talking with Libby Collins about the secrets of their success and how you can adapt that to your business. That's Sunday morning, 11 a.m. on WTMJ Conversations.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
We moved this, we changed that. We said, well, what if we tried this thing here? Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I'm describing the process that we're still in right now with my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets. This is why you go with a local wife and husband team and not some internet closet company. Katie and Dan came to our home, and they started by listening to my wife and me about what we needed with our front closet project, what we wanted it to do for us. Next steps. Measurements, pictures, 3D software goes to work. All right at our kitchen table. Katie and Dan followed with plans 1, 2, 3. My wife and I met with them again at the showroom in Waukesha to tweak things even further. It's all about this process. If you want it done right, you cut the clutter, you calm the chaos, you can improve the look and function of your home. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks on the road tonight, starting out of the break with back-to-back games, riding a win over the Clippers Thursday.
Kuzma going to crank up a three-quarter court shot, and he hit it. Kyle Kuzma knocks down a three-quarter court heave, and the Bucks will ride that into the second quarter.
The new guy, Kuzma, almost did it again at the end of the second half. Threw another one up. Bucks over the Clippers, 116-110. Kuzma talking about the new faces. Bobby Portis is out. New rotations.
It's not rocket science. It's basketball at the end of the day, and we just have to have a good spirit. You know, anytime you have a good spirit and you come into work every day and you believe that you can win, you're gonna give yourself a chance. So
I love that. I mean. Okay, but it's not rocket science, right?
Right. Yeah.
Guys have been balling for a long time here.
It's a game. Basketball. Yep.
Giannis did play exactly half the game. He got 24 minutes for the Greek Freak. Bucks tip off at 6 o'clock tonight against the Wizards in Washington.
No Bobby, of course, Bobby Portis. The news broke on Thursday that he's out for 25 games for taking the wrong painkiller, one that he thought was another, says his agent. Peter Fagan, Bucks president, on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A one-time mistake that has extremely tough consequences associated with it.
Fagan says, it was on Portis. It's Bobby's fault that it was a lapse in judgment for him. Tomorrow marks the first Brewers broadcast of the season. Brewers and Reds from Arizona. You can hear it right here on WTMJ. Starts at 2 o'clock. And, of course, a little bit different this time around. Why is that? Well, Mr. Baseball, as we all know, passed away earlier this year, so we no longer will hear Uke on the call. Jeff Levering talked to WTMJ's Dom Catroni about what's going to sound like.
I'll come on the air on Saturday. I'm sure I'll say something briefly. Lane and I will probably talk about Bob for a moment or two, but there's a game that needs to be played. There are lineups that need to be announced, and his presence will be felt all throughout the course of the season. I know that.
You can hear that game again right here on WTMJ. Breaking broadcasting news, ESPN says its TV partnership with MLB is over after this season. And to the big game, the Four Nations Championship game, it goes to the Canadian hockey team.
Centering pass, McDavid scores! Connor McDavid wins it!
McDavid would win it 3-2 in overtime. That's how it sounded on ESPN. Controversy, though. Controversy before the game during the Canadian national anthem.
True patriot love that only us command.
Oh, something a little different in that line. So that's Chantal Kuriasic. She's a Grammy Award-winning singer. The lyric is, "In all of us command." But she changed it to, "That only us command." She wrote it on her hand that way. And why? Because it was to take a shot at President Trump, who had said that he wants to take over Canada.
So they're not going to be the 51st state, or
correct?
Is that was?
I wonder how many people noticed in the stadium.
Well, none of the Americans. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but all I know is "Oh Canada." Lots going on in college sports this weekend. Basketball, Marquette tonight. Golden Eagles on the road.
Where are we going? Going to Texas. Let's go.
No, fellas, we're going to Pennsylvania to face Villanova. That game 6:00 tonight. Homer and Tony Smith will be on the call. Scotty Warris will call the game for a later tip. Panthers at UWM at Youngstown State at 8:00.
Oh, mercy!
That game's on 101.7 The Truth. And for the Badgers, so listen to this. The Kohl Center is going to be pretty busy this weekend. Basketball, you got Oregon coming to town on Saturday. That's an 11 a.m. tip for Wisconsin. That will be both immediately following and preceding Badgers hockey this weekend. You got the men's team at home. Puck drops at 7:30 against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame tonight. Then they go in, they put the floor down for basketball for tomorrow afternoon. Then they rip the floor back out and get it ready for hockey again at 7:30 tomorrow night. Turn and burn. Badgers women's hockey, they're on the road. They'll close out the regular season this week. Still ranked number 1 in the country, Bemidji State in Minnesota, 3:00 this afternoon, and then again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Badger sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
The only place to get this.
And the Bucks will get out of here with a 103-101 win like bank robbers in the night.
With some of this.
There were no questions about what Chris Middleton could give you in the playoffs. I mean, look at last year. And that is, I think, the question that you have with this group.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
You got to get to Built Right today. You can shop Built Right's President's Day and Randy K's birthday sale and $1 million clearance sell-off because they've been extended. Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. Affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses. We got both from Built Right. Living room furniture. My son's sleeping on a new mattress from Built Right, and that was one that we took home that day. All about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. Just talked about it. 4 generations, 97 years strong. 3rd and 4th generation family members, they're the ones who are in the store working alongside their amazing team. If you want it today, they have thousands of items in stock, or you can custom order and they'll still get you a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of power lift recliners in stock. 60 models of USA made mattresses, including those flippable and heavy duty models. Free in-store design services, voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure when you stop by, tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right. It's 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com, Debbie.
All right, looking good on the roads. Light volume across the entire area. I'm really not seeing any delays. No incidents either. Just a couple broken down vehicles here and there, but they're out of traffic, so nothing to worry about. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny today, a high of 28. Tonight, clear, a low of 7. Saturday, 29. Sunday, 38 degrees. Monday, the high is 43, Vince. Tuesday, the high is 44. What's Wednesday? -4?
Right, could be.
It's not.
And then the bottom drops out, folks.
I don't know that. Forecast sponsored by Daedra Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
.653 on Wisconsin's Morning News, bringing our friend from ESPN Milwaukee, Gabe Neitzel. Do you have greater insight on the Bobby Portis thing? So our guy, Bobby Portis, he's a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. He's kicked out for 25 games now for violating the NBA's substance abuse policy. But as we know, not all of these violations are the same thing. Like some guys are on recreational drugs and they get popped for that. Some guys are on steroids. They get popped for that. That's not what this is. So what is it?
So this is a drug that was banned. Tramadol, I believe, is the name of the drug. He thought it was Toradol, which is legal. Toradol is a fairly popular. Honestly, the only reason I know what Toradol is because in the 90s, when Mark Chmura was playing, do the show with Chewy, like that was a shot that a lot of guys would take for painkillers, and it was like high up there. I mean, it could do some damage, like at high doses in terms of kidney function, that whole thing. But that was something that a lot of NFL players took back in the 90s. Obviously, now there's a pill form of it, and that's what Bobby thought he was taking because his assistant gave it to him. But it ended up being Tramadol, which was banned a couple of years ago by the World Anti-Doping Agency. And then the NBA decided to add it to their list. It's on the list, but best I can tell after doing some research, because it has a low chance of becoming like a substance abuse drug where you can get hooked on it.
So it's not an opioid?
It's not as strong as something like oxycodone or anything like that. But it has that possibility, which is why they added it to the list. And ultimately, Bobby is responsible for what goes in his body. And this is one of those, it's on this list, which means, okay, you tested positive, it's on this list, you get the 25 games. It's all collectively bargained. It sucks. It stinks. And the Bucks just didn't want to fight it anymore because we're running out of games. And they want to make sure Bobby's back by the end of the season so he's available for the postseason.
I don't know why, but I think we just assume that there's a pharmacist that works for the team. And that if you need something, you get it from the doctor who works for the team and has all the drugs right there for you.
And that's why this is just tough, right? Because you're trusting your assistant to give you the right thing, and ultimately his assistant gave him the wrong thing because his assistant thought he had a prescription for this and ended up being that, and he ends up taking the wrong pill and he popped the wrong thing on the test.
So let's kind of sort through this, because first of all, there's do you believe him? And there doesn't seem to be anybody within the Bucs organization that doesn't believe this story. Mm-hmm. So because, again, too, we've been lied to about various things like that. That does not appear to be the case here. Everybody's saying the same story.
One in particular?
No one in particular. Just hypothetically.
Yeah, sure.
So it sounds like, yes, Bobby's not a bad guy. I think Peter Fagan even said he's not a drug abuser. That's not what we're looking at here. So, yeah, but he did make a mistake. I'm with you, E. I just, if you're a professional athlete, right, and your body is the raw materials of that which you ply your trade. Mm-hmm. I don't know, before I take a cold medicine.
Oh,
right?
yeah. You're checking with somebody. And again, that's where you trust your assistant, but your assistant had the wrong information in their own head, and that's what ultimately got Bobby in trouble. And he's responsible for what goes in his body. And again, he's admitted to, I took that drug. That's what happened, man. I'm sorry, but it's one of those things where the NBA, their hands are tied too, but they can't just treat everyone. Oh, okay. We believe this guy, but
Bobby's nice. So,
he's fantastic.
Yeah,
exactly. So it sucks. It's a mistake.
Fair enough.
And it's a mistake that is probably getting overly punished, but that's the type of risk that you take when you don't know for sure the things that you're putting in your body. I feel bad for Bobby, but at the same time, hey, man, this is collectively bargained. It's on this list. Mm-hmm. You get the 25 games. It stinks. Sucks for the Bucs because I was thinking, hey, after the All-Star break, everybody's healthy. Let's go see what the new pieces look like. And Bobby can play the last 4 games of the regular season.
It'll be fresh for the playoffs. Yeah. There you go.
There we go. There's a positive spin from Vince.
See, guys, you guys are so negative all the time. You need me in here to lift you up.
For the positive, reinforcements.
You're welcome. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Fans capture a sneak peek of what's in store at the 2025 NFL Draft, with renderings released of the setup at Lambeau Field. Included in the renderings is a 250,000 square foot draft theater stage where draft selections will take place in April. The parent company of Pyramex Bank voluntarily delists from the NASDAQ and transitions to trade over the counter in an effort to reduce expenses. 1895 Bancorp of Wisconsin Incorporated plans to withdraw the registration of its common stock with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Northwestern Mutual sees historic growth in 2024. The company announced that it had a total revenue in 2024 exceeding $38 billion and a $40 billion surplus, both records for the life insurance and financial services provider. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new and score great offers and special savings to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Connect with Holiday for expert help, their low simplified price, and $500 auto show bonus cash on new 2025s. Stackable with offers like low 2.9% 5-year financing for well-qualified buyers on most models, including Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. How about the 2-row Mazda CX-70 and 3-row Mazda CX-90? Save even more if you or someone in your household already drives Mazda with owner loyalty rewards. Get qualifying details today and enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Tonight, the Bucks and Kuzma cash in at Washington.
Inbound pass to Kuzma, catches it, lays it off the window, and good. And the Bucks will have the last laugh.
Our coverage starts at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. This is Friday, February 21st. Our top story, school resource officer funding approved.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A stunning twist in Israel.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we have a pretty good ride shaping up. Volume's starting to pick up a little bit more. We're seeing more delays through the stadium interchange on eastbound 94. Also, eastbound 894 slowing down a little bit past Loomis. Otherwise, for the most part, we're looking pretty good across the system. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine today on our way to a high of 28 degrees. Low temperature dipping to the single digits away from Lake Michigan. Should be at 12 if you're on the lakeshore. And right now at 13 in Milwaukee from the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
Nearly $800,000 in funding for school resource officers under court order, now approved by the Milwaukee Public School District.
Now the district says the ball lies in the city's court, with their plan to split the cost for SROs down the middle sent to the city attorney's office. Board President Marva Herndon.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
The move late Thursday came after an irate Judge David Borowski set a new SRO deal deadline earlier this week.
I take a dim view of elected officials thinking that they're above the law. They're not, at least in this court. So this is going to get resolved.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
As MPS prepares for the start of the Dr. Brenda Cassellius superintendency, former leaders are looking back at how the organization found itself in such dire straits now. Former MPS Superintendent Bill Andrikopoulos tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News how he thinks the district evolved since he retired.
In the last 15 years, there's been significant
change in leadership in the district, principal leadership, district office leadership. A lot of people are retired, and the people that have come up the ranks to fill those positions just don't have the experience that the other people had.
Andrikopoulos says that MPS deciding to leave about 11% of its workforce vacant is also hurting the district.
Nearly 24 people. They're safe this morning, but looking for a place to stay after a large apartment fire on Milwaukee's northwest side. It's at Willow Court Apartments, 89th and Length, right near Highway 145. The fire's out. Crews say the blaze was concentrated on the second floor.
Outrage in Israel. Israeli officials say the remains handed over to them by Hamas were not the remains of a hostage.
The Israeli military's forensic test concluded that one of the 4 bodies Hamas handed over on Thursday was not that of Shiri Bibas, and the DNA did not match any of the other missing hostages. Her 2 sons, Ariel and Kafir, were identified. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alleging Hamas put the body of a Gazan woman in a coffin. Hamas claiming Bibas's remains were mixed with other human remains under the rubble where she was being held after Israeli airstrikes destroyed the area. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
Governor Tony Evers' budget proposal includes tax cuts for low and middle income earners, though the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting this morning the budget results in a net increase of nearly $2.5 billion in taxes. TMJ4 News Chief Political Correspondent Charles Benson saying state Republicans will most likely shoot down many of the proposals.
That's where things get rewritten by Republicans who still have the majority in the Assembly and still have the majority in the Senate. So I think what's going to be interesting is always that battle around what sort of tax cuts will there be, who will get them.
Benson says the proposals that Republicans might approve would be focused on funding towards special education.
Coming up, happy 100th to this magazine.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices Sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Love snow blowing your driveway or shoveling your sidewalk? Yeah, right.
Well, if you lived in a brand new Cornerstone development community, someone else handles those duties. Buy a brand new home in the Grove in River Hills, the Glen at Stonewall Farms in Grafton, the Glen at Standing Stone in Waukesha, or the Glen at Wanakee in Menominee Falls, and they take care of the maintenance. All built with your selection of finishes. If you downsize, there's a clubhouse for when you temporarily need to upsize. Take a virtual tour and see for yourself at cornerstonedevelopment.com.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Barrett Center, the 22nd through the 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Giannis returns as the Bucks are on a back-to-back out of the All-Star break. We got sports at 7:15.
An update to a story we've been following on Wisconsin's Morning News. Financial hardship closing a Wisconsin college.
Beginning over 130 years ago, Northland College has served the lakeshore communities of northern Wisconsin, northeast Minnesota, and the UP.
Immigrants
loggers, men and women. We've served Native American.
Interim President Barb Lundberg tells WTMJ that declining enrollment can hit small private institutions the hardest, where resources are stretched thin.
If you're large or small, you still have to have certain key functions. You know, you have to have a financial aid office. You have to have a registrar's office. You have to have all of these things.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
One of America's most prestigious and influential magazines celebrating its 100th birthday.
It's called The New Yorker, but the beloved weekly magazine is read nationwide. The country's leading literary magazine is known for its illustrated covers, poems, short stories, intriguing cartoons, commentaries on popular culture, and strong journalism on politics and social issues.
We have more readers in the state of California than we do in the state of New York.
David Remnick was named the magazine's 5th editor in 1998 when he was just 39. He spoke to CBS's Sunday Morning.
It's a magazine that has deep reporting and prides itself on accuracy and fact-checking.
24 fact-checkers, in fact, who examine everything that goes in the magazine, even cartoon captions. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:09.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Taxes in retirement could take a bigger bite out of your savings than ever before. With a rising tax environment, many retirees are worried about running out of money. At Drake & Associates, we understand those fears, and we're here to help you feel more confident about your retirement. That's why we're offering a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you take control of your financial future. Don't let rising taxes catch you off guard. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free resources. That's TAX to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
At 7:10, let's get a look at the traffic. Debbie?
All right, looking pretty good. Got a little bit of a backup. Eastbound 94 heading right through the stadium interchange. Eastbound 894 also tightening up a bit right past Loomis. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along pretty well, though volume is definitely picking up. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today with high temperatures in the upper 20s. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures in the single digits inland, lower teens near the lake. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 20s, near 30 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures in the mid to upper 30s as we finally get above freezing. A couple weak systems will head our way. The first one late Sunday night into Monday morning. Another one by Monday evening could bring a couple raindrops and a light mix with high temperatures in the 40s. More 40s on Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 12 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
And a good Friday to you. Vince, only one man could prompt supporters to line up overnight. Only one man could get this much support for doing what he did.
Happening today.
Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in cold blood, is back in court today, and the supporters are lining up.
It looked like they were here actually overnight. I'm not sure what time they got here. Some of the people at the front of the line are in these small tents, but as the sun is coming up, we are seeing more people show up, standing in line outside of State Superior Court here in Lower Manhattan.
There's a couple of reasons why people are lining up to see, if they can even see, Luigi Mangione. One is because they think he's a handsome fella. The other is because of what he did, killing the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. You remember
and again, you said supporters.
Right. Yes, supporters. Again,
it's one thing to go and want to see the circus. It's another thing to go and have a sign saying, like, thanks,
Or to even give him support. We'll give a little bit more on that on this alleged killer in a second. What's happening today?
In court today, the judge is expected to ask the defense and prosecution for an update on the exchange of evidence and could also set a trial date for when this is all moving forward. Keep in mind, Mangione is also facing charges in Pennsylvania. And of course, he's facing those federal charges. And if convicted of those federal charges, he could be facing the death penalty.
So that's ABC's Janice Yu. Yeah, he could get the death penalty for what he did or is accused of doing, I should say. She is outside the court right now in Lower Manhattan as those supporters are lining up. So what do those supporters want? Well, Lori Levinson, she is a former federal prosecutor and law professor. She says they're actually giving him money.
Mangione has a huge following. He set up his own webpage. He's raised almost $500,000 for his defense.
He also has a really high-profile lawyer as well. So some of these cases you think are always slam dunks. You never know. You never know. So this case not going to trial today. Obviously, they still got a lot to do. This is a procedural hearing, if you will.
But the circus is definitely in town in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks coming off the All-Star break right into a back-to-back. They play again tonight in Washington. Now, Giannis did play Thursday night and led the Bucks back from a deep hole going into the fourth.
Giannis drives the other way, runs into a crowd. He gets fouled, but he lays it in anyway. The Greek Freak is recharging and recalibrating. His team is back to within 10 again, riding his oversized shoulders with 21 points now.
And Dave Kane on the call on WTMJ. Giannis played half the game, led the Bucks with 23 points as they beat the Clippers 116-110 at Fiserv Forum. Bucks and Wizards tonight. That's a 6 p.m. tip.
No Bobby Portis for the next 25 games because he was nabbed for anti-drug policy, took the wrong painkiller, he says. Now, Bucks president Peter Feigin reacted to that news right after it broke on Thursday. He joined Wisconsin's Midday News. He said, frankly, Bobby screwed up.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Yeah, Feigin called it a one-time mistake that has just extremely tough consequences. Tomorrow marks the first Brewers broadcast of the season. You want to hear some baseball?
Yes.
Right here on WTMJ, 2 o'clock, Brewers and Reds from Arizona. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Mr. Baseball, of course, passing away, Bob Uecker. Jeff Levering speaking with WTMJ's Don Catronio about what it's going to sound like tomorrow.
Yeah, I kind of thought about how you come on the air, right? And the way that Bob would want us to do it is just talk about the game, right? We're here to talk about the baseball season. He wouldn't want it to be about him, but in the back of everybody's mind, you have to say something.
You can hear the game tomorrow, WTMJ 2 p.m. Also breaking broadcasting news, ESPN and its TV partnership with MLB is over after this season. Hockey now, the Four Nations Championship goes to...
Oh, Canada.
The Canucks. Canada beats the U.S. 3-2 in overtime. Connor McDavid with the shot.
Centering pass, McDavid scores! Connor McDavid wins it for Canada!
Yeah, that's how it sounded on ESPN. The championship was the culmination of a round-robin style tournament. It was part of the NHL's All-Star break. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so...
Well done.
It works for hockey. I mean, I know they've tried to do similar things. Baseball, they got their tournament they do in spring training every few years. Anyway, McDavid wins it. Super proud of how it all went for the team and the tournament and the league.
It's a great game. It's a great sport. And I hope we put on a good show these last couple days and gain some fans. Ultimately, you can't ask for a better show than that.
Controversy, though. National anthem controversy. We'll get to that at 7:45.
In terms of what the other sports could do, I mean, the NBA looking at, could you do a Europe v. U.S. kind of thing?
Like that. I want to say they've done something similar.
Could certainly do like a Latin America versus U.S. type of thing in MLB.
But they do the world.
Yeah, but
thing.
just do it for the Midsummer Classic. MLB's All-Star Game is less broke than the NBA, and certainly less than the NFL. NFL is going to turn into a coin flip at the end of this thing. Lots of college sports on the docket tonight and into the weekend. UWM at Youngstown State. Bullseye! Scotty Warris will be on that call. That's an 8 p.m. tip on 101.7 The Truth. Marquette is on the road tonight at Villanova. 6 o'clock start. Homer and Tony Smith will take you there on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
Badgers basketball.
All right, Coach.
In Oregon for an 11 p.m. tip at the Kohl Center in Madison. That's on Saturday. Women's hockey, number 1 team in the land. Badgers close out the regular season at Bemidji State. That's a 3 p.m. game today, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
What is high sticking?
The guy take the stick, and he go like that. You don't do that.
Men host Notre Dame. Puck drops at 7:30 both tonight and tomorrow night in Madison. Badger sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Warmer temps are on the way. It's time for the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ. Get all the tips, tricks, and best practices to improve your home with our trusted partners, including Kohler Services, Yutka Fence, and Ridgetop Exteriors. So be listening for all of our interviews coming up on the air. Plus, we'll post everything for you. You can listen anytime at WTMJ.com. It's the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Spring Home Improvement Showcase, only here on WTMJ.
It's the biggest savings event of the year. Menards' 11% rebate sale is here. Save big money on everything you need for any project. We've got something for everyone. Homeowners, contractors, DIYers, the kids, and even grandma. Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. You want a personal referral? Fine, I can do that for you. I just had another friend reach out. Said, hey, I want to get in touch with your guys at Johnson & Sons. They've got a big commercial parking lot, not just for customers, but also some pretty big trucks for shipping and receiving that move in and out of there. So I reach out to my guy, Jeff Johnson. I make the connection. They're already talking dates for the walkthrough. And here's the part I love best, because Jeff then copies me on his email back to my friend. He says, yeah, I'll be able to discuss options. You get a no-obligation quote on the work you need to be done. You get a timetable, and you know when you need to do these various things. Let me make an introduction for you. Or just tell them Vinny sent you when you call. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. Asphalt and concrete. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
At 7:21, how do the roads look, Deb?
Well, starting to slow down a little bit eastbound on 94, coming in from about 70th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound still clear right now. Eastbound 894 still a little bit heavy right past Loomis. Otherwise, everything else looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's going to be a nice winter day today. Sunny, a high of 28. Tonight, clear, a low of 7. Saturday, partly cloudy, 29. Sunday, the high is 38. We will get a rain-snow mix Sunday evening. Monday, cloudy, a high of 43 with a chance for rain Monday evening. Tuesday, a high of 44. Right now, it's 7:22, 17 degrees.
So the weather ahead, kind of a welcome sign for folks who may still have their cars frozen in ice on the east side. So they had this water main break earlier in the week. It flooded Franklin Street, which is right off of Brady, and it left a number of vehicles stuck for days.
I didn't realize how bad it was at first because the whole street was destroyed, so I walked down in the middle of the road. And the other side of my car, the wheels are not as encased, but they're coated in ice. So I just thought there was ice on my car. And then I got in and realized I couldn't move it.
That woman talking with TMJ4 News, Jenna Ray, who was out there. Yeah, I loved it. The street was destroyed. And I want to point out this happens from time to time, and it's not really anybody's fault necessarily.
Water main breaks?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But it
Had a lot
flooded this street, and then because we were so wicked cold, it totally froze over. And a number of these cars, it wasn't just some ice around the cars. They were stuck. 2, 3, maybe more inches of ice. Jenna Ray also talked with this guy who's out there now helping folks try to dig their cars out of the ice, and then he had this tow operation going.
We thought hey, we could help everybody on this block. Call us, we come out, see how bad it is, and then if they're okay, we'll charge, and then we'll get them out for a reasonable price.
Yeah, so we've been asking a couple of questions on that, on the cost aspect. Okay, so if your car's damaged in some way, or you pay this guy or somebody else to get you out, it wasn't your fault either. So is the city going to pay for that?
You would assume no.
Probably no. So I contacted this lawyer buddy of mine. He does a lot of municipal work. So he's testified on behalf of clients before, every city, town, village board, committee, zoning, all that stuff, right? So he's very familiar with the municipal process. And he told me, well, first thing he said is, I actually have this propane torch that I use on my property in Shawano County.
Come on.
We'll get into some of the more wild suggestions that we got for how to deal with this. But he said, look, most likely the best recourse for most of these folks is to file a claim with the city after the fact. So whatever you do, if you have some cost, right, you file a claim with the city for your damages for the cost of, getting that guy to tow your thing out or whatever. But he said then next, those are routinely denied. So pretty much it's kind of like the insurance company claims, right? So whatever claim you put in there, there's nope. So then you got to get a lawyer to help you go fight it. And he said what happens more often than not is people realize it's probably going to cost me more in legal fees to end up litigating this. I might lose anyway. So in the long run, people sort of end up dropping it. Sometimes you get settlements, and the city may or may not do that in this case. But he said best thing that these folks can do, if, for example, you're still stuck, is push. Maybe you go with your alderman. Now, the east side is without an alderman right now because of Jonathan Brostoff, and there's that special election. But, contact your elected official and say, get somebody out here, fix this thing. That's the only leverage you have is your vote in this case. But try to get DPW out there and get these cars out. Now, we did see DPW on scene. They had some heavy machinery out there. They were spreading calcium chloride.
Which is not salt, really. Right. It's a stronger... It can handle more deep freeze.
Yes,
melting.
that's the advantage over. I think calcium chloride is CaCl as opposed to NaCl, which is the salt. That's a little chemistry for you there, E.
Thank you.
I probably got it wrong, and we'll get a text. Don't text me. I don't care. Anyway, it's better for colder temperatures. But we also had folks texting in Thursday with various suggestions.
Great suggestions.
What did we hear?
We had jackhammer.
Okay.
We had torch.
Yes.
We had tow truck. Just pull it out.
Just rip it out. Right. Get out there with a chipper of some kind.
Some type of impact hammer that you can get at Menards.
Various other chemicals were suggested. So Adam Roberts in the newsroom contacted Milwaukee Waterworks and talked with the superintendent there, Patrick Pauly.
Suggesting things such as de-icer, jackhammers, impact hammers, an ice bar. Would you say that those sort of DIY approaches, given the unusual nature of what we're dealing with here, is that okay to do, or is it best to just sit tight and wait for Waterworks to tackle it the best way they know how?
I would not recommend any of those DIY approaches that you mentioned. They sound dangerous.
Okay.
Can you imagine this guy on the other end of Adam's question? Appalled. I wouldn't do any of that crap you just said. I would not do any of that. So what are they to do? Wait for the warm-up, I guess, or do your best with the salt or the calcium chloride? My lawyer buddy did say, here's the rest of his text. For what it's worth, I really think my torch would work.
It may work.
Right. Better than a jackhammer anyway. $50 at Menards, he says. Okay. Let's just all stay in our lanes, right?
It may work. It doesn't necessarily mean that the car is going to be functional.
Sounded like sound legal advice. I don't know about the torch, but you do you there on the east side. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell just over 1%, almost 451 points to 44,177. The NASDAQ closed at 19,962. That was down just under 100 points. And the S&P 500 down about 27 to 6118. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Yours brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
7:30. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, February 21st, our top story, an update on a Milwaukee apartment fire.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A fight over Wisconsin tax cuts.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94 definitely slowing down from about 76th Street all the way to 35th. The westbound side's just starting to tighten up a little bit right in the stadium interchange. Southbound on 41, we've got a little backup right from North Avenue to Mayfair Road, so it's just a little tiny spot right there. And then we got a broken down vehicle on southbound 43, just past Silver Spring. It's off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine today in your storm team forecast with a high of 28 degrees. Should be mostly clear tonight, but the temperatures will drop quite a bit. Inland low 7 degrees, a little bit warmer if you're near Lake Michigan. Right now, Milwaukee at 13. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, space heaters being blamed for a large apartment fire that started early this morning. Milwaukee's far northwest side. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is live in the Breaking News Center.
Vince, that fire at the Willow Court Apartments, this near 89th and Lynx by Highway 145, forced 20 residents to evacuate. Now crews say it appears to have been caused by space heaters being too close to flammable materials. Battalion Chief Nicholas Trost says they had to evacuate 3 people from an apartment balcony.
We had an apartment filled with residents at the time of arrival. Beyond the complexity of fight a fire, we also had the fact that we were trying to get a bunch of people rescued from that building as well.
Now, no injuries have been reported, and the Red Cross is assisting 7 of the displaced residents.
2 MPS funds for school resource officers are going to Milwaukee Public Schools. During a special meeting that took place Thursday night, the Board of School Directors at MPS voted unanimously to provide 50% of the pay to SROs. MPS agrees to pay nearly $800,000 as part of the splitting cost 50-50 ordered by Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge David Borowski. The rest would be paid for by the city. The interim superintendent, Eduardo Galvan, says the district's plan has now been forwarded to the city attorney's office.
If passed as is, Governor Tony Evers' budget proposal would leave the state surplus drained and in a $4 billion deficit by the year 2029. TMJ4 News chief political reporter Charles Benson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News while the governor has had a hard time getting budgets approved by state Republicans in the past, he has been able to pull off some compromises.
I think as you watch this all unfold, which should be now over the next several months, the goal is always to have a budget sometime by the end of June. And I think that will help us determine just where he might be willing to compromise when it comes to the Republicans, which he's done in the past around tax cuts.
Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reporting this morning that Evers' budget targets tax cuts for low and middle income earners, but is a net tax increase of $2.8 billion.
Trouble and outrage in Israel. This after the country has concluded that while 3 of the bodies released by Hamas yesterday have been identified, it turns out one body of those hostages was not the mother of the 2 boys.
We will ensure that Hamas pays the full price for this cruel and evil violation of the agreement, said Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Hamas has always claimed the family was killed as far back as November 2023 in an Israeli air raid. Israel says they were murdered.
CBS News correspondent Deborah Petta there. Netanyahu is vowing revenge.
There is additional funding for the Wisconsin State Arts Board as part of the year's annual budget or biannual budget proposal. Imagine MKE Executive Director Christine Hoynacki telling What's on Tap the proposal could provide filmmakers benefits and incentives that Wisconsin lacks.
Basically, we are 1 in 4 states that do not have a film office and 1 in 13 that don't have incentives. So what does that mean? It basically means that we're missing out on that economic impact.
Right now, Wisconsin provides 18 cents per capita to the Wisconsin State Arts Board to expand and celebrate arts within Wisconsin.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34. Coming up, Prime, Amazon Prime.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago, the place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go, Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
The new guy dropping long-range threes for the Bucs. Sports at 7:45.
James Bond news. No, we don't know who the new James Bond is, or at least that's not the big announcement today. But Amazon Prime now has creative control over James Bond, the franchise.
Well, that's more than just they decided to have the films, right?
Correct.
On the platform.
Correct. The agreement could open the door to production starting on a long-awaited new film and to a potentially limitless avalanche of spin-off TV shows for the Amazon Prime streaming service. I don't know what the spin-off shows would be. There's a guy with the metal teeth. Would he have his own show?
There was a guy in the background of the negotiations in Ukraine that totally looked like a Bond character, like a Bond villain. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah. So anyway, this is big news. Amazon MGM Studios and making that announcement. They struck a deal with the heirs of the Bond film. So that means that at least you would assume that everything will be housed on that platform for the time being. You'll be able to watch all the Bond movies there. But yeah, something will be coming. They'll come up with a way to make more from that franchise.
What I don't want, I mean, I think you look at what's happened with Disney and Star Wars, right? And yes, they provided all this additional content, and some of the series are better than others, but there's stuff, right? But I don't want to lose the movies. I still like a big Bond blockbuster. I still like a big Star Wars movie.
Meaning, if they did not make a movie, that would drive you crazy.
Don't do all these, 3 seasons of this and that and whatever, and then just not do the movies. Can't we do both? Still like a good film.
I'm with you there.
All right,
good old popcorn film.
There, my demands have been stated. This news report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Steinhoffel's President's Day mattress sale is the best time to save big on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets, plus get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses start at just $50 per month. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic? The President's Day mattress sale, only at Steinhoffels and steinhoffels.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin presents WTMJ's Spring Home Improvement Showcase. Vince Vitrano here highlighting this week's featured business, and it's Siding Unlimited, who's been named a 5-time winner of the Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year Award. So Siding Unlimited, they got a great installation team of carpenters. They're all in-house employees. They do a fantastic job installing those windows and doors, and you can call them at 262-567-4513, or you go to sidingunlimited.com to check out different options and ideas for your projects at home.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawn spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
At 7:40, how are the roads, Deb?
Seeing some delays eastbound 94 coming in from just east of 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound starting to get into it too. 35th Street's where you start to slow down all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today with high temperatures in the upper 20s. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Low temperatures in the single digits inland, lower teens near the lake. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. High temperatures in the upper 20s, near 30 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. High temperatures in the mid to upper 30s as we finally get above freezing. A couple weak systems will head our way. The first one late Sunday night into Monday morning. Another one by Monday evening could bring a couple raindrops and a light mix with high temperatures in the 40s. More 40s on Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee right now at 10 degrees.
Come with me now.
Always good theater when you have CPAC going on in Washington, the Conservative Political Action Conference. And the headliner on Thursday was Elon Musk, touting the work of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, So this is attended by conservatives from around the country, and usually they bring out their brightest stars. And this year, obviously, with Republicans regaining control of the White House, both chambers, you got a lot of stars to parade before, folks anxious to hear that message. And the DOJ controversy is that Musk has been put in charge of slashing the federal workforce, finding waste, fraud, and abuse, and all of those things. Well, he addressed some of that in his appearance, talking about what his job is, what his mandate is.
As we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So.
Yeah. There is some conversation about are Americans going to perhaps get rebate checks, maybe even in the thousands of dollars. That would seem counterintuitive because the last time we got a whole bunch of checks, Republicans blamed Democrats for driving up inflation. Right. I guess the difference being is this would be money that was realized by cutting federal government, whereas that was money that existed nowhere else. It was just created and handed out. You can sort that out. But Musk also pushing back on the suggestion that he's some sort of pawn of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I'm a bought asset of Putin. Yeah. I'm like, he can't afford me.
That may actually be true.
He also brought out a chainsaw.
It was gifted to him.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Dancing around with a chainsaw.
Literally a chainsaw. And his point was, right, we're taking the chainsaw to the federal bureaucracy and we're making these cuts. The part about that, I have mixed feelings about it. I can't decide whether I like Elon Musk personally. I like that a character like him exists in America. I like some of the things that he's done. He's a visionary in a lot of things. And polling suggests most Americans support trimming the size of the federal workforce. Most Americans support finding cost savings, having government work more efficiently. But do you want to also buy into the suggestion that it's some sort of clown show by walking out with a prop? I mean, some of these folks who work for the federal government might well be deadbeats, but many of them are just folks who were hired to do a job and were doing it to the best of their ability. And maybe you decide that that's not a job we need anymore. But should we celebrate that? Ah, hilarious. I fired a bunch of people.
Yeah, weird moment.
I fired all these people. Yes, some of them maybe aren't great employees. Some of them maybe are surplus spending for the government, but some of them are just regular old folks who want to go to work every day. I don't know. That was an unnecessary part of the clown show. Although it was a nice looking chainsaw.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. I have a question for you business owners. How do your books look? Are they ready for your tax return to be prepared? Did you and your accountant talk during the year and develop a plan to minimize your tax bill? Or does this sound like you? You can never get a hold of your CPA. Phone calls are not returned and questions are never answered. Your books are a mess and the bank account hasn't been reconciled since last year. You don't get any advice to help you run your business. That's not the case with the Neal Group. We are advocates and partners with our clients to help them grow. We like to work with you throughout the year to keep your books up to date so you run your business profitably. Are you ready to grow your business, improve cash flow, have less stress, and live a better life? We can help. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net to book a meeting and see if we can help. The first meeting is free. Don't wait, do it now. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks on the road tonight, starting out of the break with back-to-back games and riding a win over the Clippers Thursday.
Kuzma going to crank up a three-quarter court shot, and he hit it! Kyle Kuzma knocks down a three-quarter court heave, and the Bucks will ride that into the second quarter.
It was all of that, Dave Kane. Almost did it again at the end of the second half, did Kuzma. Chucked another one up that almost went. Bucks over the Clippers, 116-110. Kuzma talking about, we got a lot of I'm new here. We got other new guys. Bobby Portis is out. Now we got new rotations.
It's not rocket science. It's basketball at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's true. He's not wrong.
We also just know how to play basketball, so it's fine. Giannis did played exactly half the game, 24 minutes for the Greek Freak. Bucks tip off at 6 o'clock tonight against the Wizards in Washington.
No, Bobby. The story broke Thursday. Bobby Portis suspended 25 games by the NBA for violating the NBA's anti-drug policy, took a painkiller that he wasn't supposed to, he says. Bucks president Peter Feigin was on Wisconsin's Midday News like an hour later and said, yeah, no, this one's on Bobby.
A one-time mistake that has extremely tough consequences associated with it.
Yeah, he says it's a lapse in judgment. Said it was Bobby's fault. Tomorrow marks the first Brewers broadcast of the season. Brewers and Reds from Arizona. You can hear it right here on WTMJ, 2 o'clock. No Mr. Baseball. That's always going to be the tough part here moving forward, is just knowing that Bob Uecker will not be on any more radio calls. Jeff Levering, speaking to WTMJ's Dom Catronio, talked about what it's going to sound like tomorrow.
I'll come on the air on Saturday. I'm sure I'll say something briefly. Lane and I will probably talk about Bob for a moment or two, but there's a game that needs to be played. There are lineups that need to be announced, and his presence will be felt all throughout the course of the season. I know that.
A little bit more on you coming up after the 8 o'clock news. You can hear the game again tomorrow, WTMJ, 2 o'clock. The Four Nations Championship goes to the Canadians. Canada beats the U.S. hockey team 3-2 in overtime. It was a last second, or not in the last second, it was a
overtime
winner,
goal.
and it was done. Connor McDavid had it, but there was controversy before the game. Listen closely.
True patriot love that only us commands.
So that's Chantal Kuriasik. She is a Grammy Award-winning Canadian, and she changed one of the lyrics. The lyric in the anthem, O Canada, is "In all of us command." She changed it to "That only us command." And
I'm guessing Canada was fine with that.
Publicist confirmed afterwards that it was a shot at Trump calling them the 51st state. She's basically saying, "Nope, we are who we are."
Patriot love that only us command.
I caught it.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear back from my buddy who has dual citizenship. Got a friend who's from Saskatchewan.
Oh, you texted talking a little smack?
Right. And I'm like, yeah, right before the puck dropped. And I'm like, 51st state, dude.
Nothing.
Didn't hear back from
Not
him.
even after they won.
Right. I would have expected my phone to blow up all night after that. Lots going on in college sports this weekend. Basketball, Marquette tonight. Golden Eagles on the road.
Where are we going? Going to Texas. Let's go.
Fellas, Homer and Tony, we are going to Pennsylvania. Got Villanova. That game is at 6 o'clock tonight. Scotty Warris will be on the call for a later tip. Panthers of UWM at Youngstown State at 8.
Oh, mercy.
That game is on 101.7 The Truth. For the Badgers, listen to this weekend at the Kohl Center. Basketball, you got Oregon coming to town on Saturday. That's an 11 a.m. tip for Bucky. And that will mean both immediately to follow and preceding that game, Badgers hockey this weekend. Men's team is at home, so the puck drops at 7:30 tonight against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Then they go in, they put the floor down for basketball for that tomorrow late morning game. And then they rip the floor back out because it's hockey again at 7:30 tomorrow night. Turn and burn at the Kohl Center. The Badgers women's hockey team closing out the regular season this week, still ranked number 1 in the country. Bemidji State in Minnesota, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then again at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Matt, you can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years, especially if you're a parent. You go from changing diapers to dropping your kid off at school. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. A 10-year labor warranty, that's always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on March 8th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Kohler Services. Yeah, I know, you're looking at your shower and you're not all that happy with it. In fact, it definitely needs some help. Well, here's where I can help you out. All you need to do is turn to Kohler Services. Yeah, they're family owned for 150 years, and Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And above all that, they have the Kohler Luckstone shower portfolio. That's the crushed stone material that they make the walls out of the tiles. Makes it look just like marble, but at a fraction of the cost. And it is gorgeous. I can't wait for that to start setting up in my home. I had some friends of mine from Kohler come out to the house, do some measurements. They sat down and designed designed a shower right in front of me, said, hey, this is what we can do for you. I said, sign me up. Go for it. Check, please. And this is the month to do it, too. This month only, you get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Luckstone shower remodel. All you got to do is visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking on the roads here at 7:53, Debbie.
All right. Well, we've got an issue on 84th Street, right underneath the freeway. Looks like you can't go south on 84th Street. So that is backing up the off-ramp all the way back onto the freeway. So heads up with that. Thanks to that caller that called into the traffic tip line to help me out with that. So just I'll keep an eye on that, but just make sure you avoid that area. Other than that, we do have delays westbound on 94 from about 27th Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down from 76th Street through the stadium. And some more delays southbound 43, starting just before Capitol Drive, all the way down past Sutter Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Campaign. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunny skies today, high of 28. Tonight, clear, a low of 7. Saturday, partly cloudy, 29. Sunday, cloudy with its chance for a rain snow mix to the north. Sunday night. That's a high of 38 on Sunday. Monday, the high is 43. Right now, it's 7:55. It's 12 degrees.
Idea Man.
One of my favorite Alvarez stories, and I'm sure you've heard this when you've been around like the rubber chicken banquets, was when he first got to Wisconsin.
Innovative.
One of the senior captains got up in front of the team and was like, we're going to go win the Big Ten. All this great stuff.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
And Barry's like, sit down. We're not blowing smoke. We're not going to, make false promises. It's going to take a lot of work, but no, we're not winning the Big Ten in the first year. And the honesty and the truth, you always are going to win when you tell your players.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, I want to ask you something about the NFL draft, as some of the plans for how that's all going to set up in Green Bay are becoming clearer. I wish you were on the video stream today, because... So, what do you think of this shirt, Eric?
I did notice it as soon as I walked in this morning.
I just got a golf polo on Tausch, and it's a little stripy and other stuff, whatever. So my wife,
it's more than just stripy. It's like zebra stripy or like tigery stripy. It's got a little bit of animal in it, a hint of animal.
That means you're feeling confident. Whenever you don't go with just the normal like block color, the confidence level's high when you're rocking a bunch of different stuff.
Or just lazy. This was kind of toward the front.
Yeah, it could be both.
But the point of the story is my wife had fallen asleep watching TV last night. So as I'm leaving, I wake her up. And out of a dead sleep, first thing she says, "What are you wearing there, buddy?"
She calls you buddy.
Buddy. That's a little loud.
It's funny you say that, because I typically like, especially in the wintertime, wear dark colors. If you're a little bigger, that's typically the deal. And I had an event last night, and as I was leaving the house, I asked my wife, what do you think? And anytime there is not it looks good, there's a slight pause, you know it's not the outfit or the color combination you should. And as I'm walking out, she goes, why don't you try this? I'm like, well, you already said it was okay. And then she said, well, it was actually, you knew I paused, and I kind of did, and then you have to go back. So, it's never easy for us. I don't know why.
You know what? For me, I wish my wife would say something. She never notices a thing I wear.
Care.
I could be completely mismatched, and she wouldn't notice till we get home after the night. Oh, you probably could have worn a different pair of pants with that shirt. Honey, I need some help.
My thing is, put that shoe on the other foot one time. Imagine your bride comes down the stairs wearing whatever she is wearing. Hey, what are you wearing tonight?
Hey, buddy.
How long does that fight last? Hey, buddy. What do you got on today?
So,
I mean, just imagine.
Between the three of us, how many times has that ever happened?
0 times.
Never.
Now,
looks great.
The tricky part of that is when they come to you and they ask you what you think, and then there's 3 different options, and you have to kind of feign like you're, this is good.
No, that's good.
But in all honesty, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I just don't know. Like, you could tell if something looks really good or it doesn't, but you're never going to say that anyways. So it just seems like from our standpoint, a feeble exercise on both ends.
Indeed.
When we're asking or we're giving advice.
And 2, you got 3 options for the boots. Go with this, whatever. Oh, you didn't like the red boots? I did not like the red boots. In fact, I love the red boots.
Why don't you just tell me which boots?
Why don't you just tell me what you want to wear?
The old Kramer phone. Movie
That's right. Why don't you just tell me what movie you want?
So the draft renderings.
So anyway, all right, we'll do it next time. Thanks, Tausch.
All right, guys.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Fans capture a sneak peek of what's in store at the 2025 NFL Draft with renderings released of the setup at Lambeau Field. Included in the renderings is a 250,000 square foot draft theater stage where draft selections will take place in April. The parent company of Pyramex Bank voluntarily delists from the NASDAQ and transitions to trade over the counter in an effort to reduce expenses. 1895 Bancorp of Wisconsin Incorporated plans to withdraw the registration of its common stock with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Northwestern Mutual sees historic growth in 2024. The company announced that it had a total revenue in 2024 exceeding $38 billion and a $40 billion surplus, both records for the life insurance and financial services provider. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Julia Fellow here. Hey, are you ready to take the plunge with me? Join us for the Special Olympics Wisconsin Polar Plunge in Milwaukee, happening March 1st at Bradford Beach. Brave souls will dive into icy waters to support local athletes. You can sign up to take the plunge or donate to Special Olympics Wisconsin. For more info and to register, visit plungewi.org or head to specialolympicswisconsin.org. Don't miss the fun and the freezing splash of a lifetime. See you at the Polar Plunge.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why Annex Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Tonight, the Bucks and Kuzma cash in Washington.
Inbound pass to Kuzma, catches it, lays it off the window, and good. And the Bucks will have the last laugh.
Our coverage starts at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Friday, February 21st. Our top story, space heaters to blame for a Milwaukee fire.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, outrage in Israel.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We still have some delays along eastbound 94 coming in from about 76th Street all the way through to the 35th Street area. We've also got some backups along westbound 94 heading through the stadium interchange starting around 30th Street. We got southbound 43 hitting the brakes at Capitol Drive all the way down towards the North Avenue area. Otherwise, everything else seems to be moving along fine. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine and a high of 28 degrees today in your Storm Team forecast. Mostly clear skies overnight. Lakeside low will stay in the double digits. It'll be single digits, 7 degrees your low temperature away from Lake Michigan under mostly clear skies tonight. Right now, Milwaukee at 10. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, turns out space heaters are to blame for a large apartment fire. Broke out early this morning, Milwaukee's far northwest side. The blaze at Willow Court Apartments, about 89th and Lynx, forced 20-some people to evacuate, and then crews say it appears it was caused by space heaters being too close to flammable materials. Battalion Chief on the scene, Nicholas Troust, saying they had to evacuate 3 people from a balcony.
We had an apartment filled with residents at the time of arrival. Beyond the complexity of fighting a fire, we also had the fact that we were trying to get a bunch of people rescued from that building as well.
No injuries reported. Red Cross is assisting 7 people who right now don't have a place to stay.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
Milwaukee Public Schools advancing funding now needed to return school resource officers to school buildings.
The Board of School Directors approves nearly $800,000 to cover half the cost of re-implementing SROs. This after Milwaukee County Judge David Borowski ordered MPS and the city to split the cost 50-50 and have a plan before February 27th. Board President Marva Herndon reiterating the board's stance on what happens now.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
Interim Superintendent Eduardo Galvan says the plan has been forwarded to the city attorney's office. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Governor Tony Evers targets tax cuts for low and middle income families in his biennial budget, but actually calls for a net increase of $2.4 billion. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reporting this morning, if passed as is, the budget would drain the state's surplus and leave us $4 billion in the hole by 2029. TMJ4's chief political correspondent Charles Benson says state Republicans will most likely shoot down most of that proposal.
That's where things get rewritten by Republicans who still have the majority in the Assembly and still have the majority in the Senate. So I think what's going to be interesting is always that battle around what sort of tax cuts will there be, who will get them.
Benson said the proposals Republicans may approve would be focused on the funding towards special education.
Outrage in Israel, where officials say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement when it returned the wrong remains during a hostage exchange. News Nation's Mills Hayes reports the Milton Group is calling it a mix-up.
Condemning the handover, Netanyahu called it a cruel and malicious violation of the ceasefire agreements, insisting that Hamas will pay the price. Hamas also responding moments ago, slamming the claims. The militant group says Shiri Babas' remains appear to have been mixed with other human remains as it was pulled from the wreckage of an Israeli airstrike on the place where her body was being held.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing to retaliate.
Accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione is due back in court today.
Accused killer Luigi Mangione, charged in December's deadly shooting of United Healthcare CEO, is due back in a Manhattan courtroom. It will be his first appearance since his arraignment when he pleaded not guilty to murder charges, along with an enhancement count of terrorism. Authorities say Mangione traveled to New York City and fired the fatal shot outside a Midtown Manhattan hotel, killing United Healthcare's CEO, Brian Thompson. He's also facing federal charges, including one count that could qualify for the death penalty. Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, how a turkey is helping with ongoing egg shortages. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures open Monday through Saturday.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
WTMJ's Home Improvement Showcase, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
This spring marks the final graduation ceremony for Northland College in Ashland.
Declining enrollment and soaring costs have led the private environmental liberal arts college to close its doors. Interim President Barb Lundberg tells WTMJ the focus now is supporting students.
Having a transfer and teach-out fair, sessions on completing applications and financial aid.
She hopes the college's 133 years on the shores of Lake Superior will have a lasting legacy on
the students it serves, definitely, but also, an impact on our region and the flavor that you feel when you're up here.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Pope Francis is doing better this morning. The Pope spent 1 week in the hospital fighting pneumonia, got up to eat breakfast Friday after the Vatican says his overall clinical condition had improved slightly, but it'll take some time to know that all the drug therapies he's taking are working.
As the price of eggs remains high and going higher across the country, the nation of Turkey has agreed to send 15,000 tons of eggs to the U.S. ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
The bird flu outbreak has prompted the slaughter of roughly 160 million birds to help control the virus since the outbreak began back in 2022. And most of those birds killed were egg-laying chickens. So that's what has driven egg prices up. They are now a record high of $4.95 per dozen on average, even higher in some areas. Although experts doubt this turkey shipment will have a major impact on supplies and costs.
And those first shipments expected by the end of this month. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Another 5-star review for the Bugman and Queen Bee. Vince Vitrano here. Our family's choice for pest defense. We'd actually gone with the big guys before. Decided we wanted to go local this time, and exactly for these reasons. Listen to what Tara wrote about this local family, veteran-owned and operated company. They took time to explain their services. Didn't try to charge us more than we needed, unlike some of their competition. We were transparent in regards to service and pricing and offer a guarantee to return if needed. Maybe the Bugman himself comes out, Adam, or maybe his brother Matt. They're based in West Dallas. Just want to help you with whatever you got going. Bugs, critters. These are the good folks you want to do business with. Take 20% off the cost of your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. The best in local pest defense. Bugman, queenbee.com.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Checking in with Debbie here at 11 minutes after 8.
Yep, some delays southbound on 43, basically coming in from Keefe all the way down past Center Street. We've got southbound on 41 looking nice and clear, so everything's looking good all the way down to the zoo. Eastbound 94, a little bit tight from about Mitchell Boulevard to 35th Street. The westbound side's cleared up nicely. And then we've got a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder, northbound 4394, just as you get past the Mitchell interchange and just before you get to the Plainfield curve, so something to keep in mind there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine and a high of 28 degrees today, mostly clear overnight. Dropping down to the single digits if you're away from Lake Michigan. About 12 degrees for your lakeside low. And for Saturday, partly cloudy and a high of 29 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee temp at 13.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So glad you're with us here on this Friday morning. I have to admit, I kind of struggle with what we should do on our show moving forward as we enter into Brewers season this year. Because one of the things, if you're a regular listener to our show, one of our favorite things to do, whether it be in sports or a news story even, is in the business, we call them drops.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a little quick soundbite, a little something,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That kind of enhances the storytelling or makes you laugh. Or
I used to collect those.
You collected drops?
Yeah. I'm a nerd.
So I wondered, one of our most frequently dropped voices.
We'd be better off listening to adhesive tape.
There it is.
Okay, we have a whole library of hilarious stuff that Bob Uecker said in his more than half-century broadcasting Brewers games here on WTMJ. And I wondered, what is the appropriate thing to do here, actually? I mean, obviously, Bob has now passed away. And, is it somehow disrespectful to include some of those in our sports stuff? And you can see clearly I've obviously decided, no, in fact, exactly in the spirit of Ueck, let's keep hearing his voice. Let's always do that. Let's never not.
Whatever you do, don't forget .com.
Right? And they go on and on. So that is just to fill you in on the executive decision that Erik and I have made here for Wisconsin's Morning News. You're still going to hear a lot of Bob Uecker's voice, even though as tomorrow we come up on the first game of spring training for your Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be right here on 620 WTMJ. And
I got to admit, that
no Ueck.
One of the first things I thought of when, here's the schedule, we got the note of, here's the schedule. Here are the spring training games that TMJ is going to broadcast. Some of them will be on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. The first thing that I thought was, how's Levering and Lane going to handle that? What are they going to do? And I meant it in an empathetic way. What do they do? How do they process that and go through that? And our guy Dom Catronio, Brewers Extra Innings host, is in Arizona covering the Brewers for us for spring training, and he spent time chatting with Levering about this exact thing. So here's a little bit about what they talked about.
And delivers. Morgan, a smash up the middle. Base hit to center. Here comes Gomez. Around third. A throw, and the Brewers win.
There will be many moments this season that Brewers fans and broadcasters experience for the first time without Bob Uecker. The first of those firsts comes on Saturday, when Jeff Levering, Lane Grindle, and Kent Sommerfeld call Game 1 of the Cactus League season here on WTMJ.
Yeah, I kind of thought about how you come on the air, right? And the way that Bob would want us to do it is just talk about the game, right? We're here to talk about the baseball season. He wouldn't want it to be about him, but in the back of everybody's mind, you have to say something.
Ueck attended a handful of spring training games last year, but didn't work until the home opener. Even through his reduced broadcast schedule due to his health, Ueck's joy at the ballpark never wavered.
I will always just remember what he did to show up every day and the amount of people that it took to get him to the ballpark and to have him healthy. And then whenever the light turned on, how he sounded. that's what I'll always take back.
Even in the manager's office, as Pat Murphy enters his 10th year with the organization, he prepares to honor Bob's legacy to his ball club.
I just love the way he operated and the way he included people, what type of teammate he was. His favorite place on earth was being in that clubhouse talking to players. And they could be players, literally 70 years younger than him. And he made them feel at home and remembered them, and just a remarkable man.
And whether it's a scorebook, a photo, or a jersey patch, Uke's presence will live on forever in Milwaukee.
But I think anytime you come to the ballpark, you feel him. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that he's on your shoulder every time that you put on a headset. And whenever you walk into the booth or even to spring training, you see his signature behind home plate. He's always there, no matter what.
Hit to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Jackson Churio!
Thank you to WTMJ's Dom Catronio for sharing that with us. Of course, he's broadcasting and covering the Brewers for us during the spring training.
So what I'm hearing there is, look, we're not going to do a season-long eulogy on Bob Uecker, right? Folks are tuning in to hear the game, and that's what Uke would want.
Right,
He doesn't want you to lose sight of, the game and the team and a lot of great players whom Bob loved to be around and to talk about. But obviously, you got to talk about him a little bit, and there will be those moments where something appropriate connects to you.
So if it's something you're looking forward to, as am I, it's 2 o'clock tomorrow. WTMJ is the start of the broadcast. Brewers from Arizona, they're playing the Reds tomorrow. And I would imagine, I'm sure you're right. You can expect something tomorrow and then again on opening day. And then as we get closer to the event, whatever that might be, when they honor Uke, the team is yet to release all of those details, but it'll be coming in the coming weeks, so we would imagine.
Yeah, I've talked with some folks that we know over at the Brewers and work with, and it's not together yet what they're going to do. There's this feeling that I get from them of, obviously, we're doing something. We don't know what exactly that is. We are working on that, and it will be a way that all fans are able to come and celebrate Bob's life. And there will probably be multiple things. I mean, they've talked about something permanent at the ballpark as well, a museum sort of experience.
Kind of like the Bud Selig thing?
Yeah, exactly. So separate from that, though, will be some sort of event where fans will have an opportunity to pay tribute to Bob and to enjoy all of those memories. But as those details become clearer, I've been assured they will be shared with us here at WTMJ, and we will share them quickly with you. 8:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News. All right, Debbie.
All right, here we go. We got eastbound 94 just a little bit slow coming out of the stadium interchange. Not too bad, though. We've got just a little bit of a tap of the brakes right past Sutter Street on 43 southbound. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. Just that broken down vehicle on 4394 northbound, just north of the Mitchell interchange, just before you get to the Plainfield curve. That's really not affecting too much because it's out of traffic. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
I'm Libby Collins. This week on WTMJ Conversations, we talk about something we all have in common, furniture, with Marty Komisar from family-owned Built Right Furniture.
Milwaukee is not known as being the style leader. And the West Coast is going to have styles before the Midwest. It's just the way it is.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We've been talking about 6 years. Okay? More than a decade, or half a decade anyway. And you get a lot of stuff done. A lot of things can change. Maybe your kids go from getting dropped off at school to being in college. And you could take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at 0% interest on your financing. Nobody's offering a deal like that right now. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get more than just great products. You get the Pella experience. What is that? Well, let's start with quality control. You know that it's Pella who manufactures and sells and installs and services all of your products. You get a 10-year labor warranty that's always included, so you know your windows and doors are set for years to come. They're expert installers. They do the work year-round, so you could have windows put in right now. They can install in as little as a day. And you know this much, too. If anything ever goes wrong, who do you call? You call Pella, because it's the same team that you're working with, and they'll be out to handle it right away. Don't wait. Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest on your financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. Deal ends on March 8th, 2025.
James Imaging Systems. Local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizon, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
SemperfiRoofing.com.
It's going to be a busy day in New York today.
Did you see what time that starts? I'm trying to get a time for you.
You want to follow it closely?
You go ahead.
That closely? All right. Well,
happening today.
I want to see the circus.
Oh, they love him, all right. Only one man could cause this much excitement in New York. Want to guess who it is? Luigi Mangione, the man accused of shooting and killing another person in the back. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He will be in court today. It's his first court appearance since pleading not guilty back in December. And yes, the supporters are there.
It looked like they were here actually overnight. I'm not sure what time they got here. Some of the people at the front of the line are in these small tents. We are seeing more people show up standing in line outside of State Superior Court here in Lower Manhattan.
So what could possibly be the reason you would want to see him? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, he's got supporters who just fawn over him because he's a handsome fella. The other is because of what he did. There's a lot of people that are celebrating the actual murder of this guy because he led healthcare companies, and we all know how insurance companies can be. United Healthcare, to be exact. So what will happen in court today? What will it look like?
He's going to be walking down that hallway into a courtroom, and we hope to hear some kind of a schedule for his upcoming trial. Our reporting at CBS News indicates that this New York State case, where he faces the most charges, will take precedence in that respect. I mean, will come first before the federal trial.
The federal trial, by the way, he's looking at the death penalty. You got a time there? Did you get it for when he'll be?
It's like 2:15 Eastern time,
Okay,
so it'll be 1:15 our time.
Just after lunch right here. And why do the supporters matter? Well, mainly because they're actually raising him money.
Mangione has a huge following. He set up his own webpage. He's raised almost $500,000 for his defense.
$500,000. That's former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson there. So, yeah, so that will be to his advantage. He also has a pretty high-profile lawyer.
Comes from a wealthy family, right? And is there any indication as to whether or not they're going to help fund his legal defense?
Great question.
He had become estranged from them.
Between the money and his pro bono from the lawyer, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, he'll be in court today, and they are already lining up.
I think what's interesting, too, is it's not without precedent that we have done stories all the time about people who get married to someone they didn't know while they were in prison because folks have an obsession with either the crime that they did or, as you indicated, well, here's a good-looking person who's in the news. Therefore, right.
Yes. So, and thus the reason for
right.
it. Yeah.
So that part's not new. What is new is this group of people who want to go ahead and support someone who's accused of first-degree intentional homicide because they've got a beef with how things go. And I'm not saying that people aren't entitled to problems or opinions about how our healthcare system is run, about insurance company, all that stuff. But to go ahead and... Are you sure you want to be in that crowd, too, holding the sign? You want to be on TV today and have your boss ask you, I think I saw you on TV out there supporting a guy accused of first-degree intentional homicide. Look great out there. He called in sick today. Right? That's what you want to wear, being a part of that movement? Good luck to you.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach. No Corona!
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Dignified services with less expensive fees compared to other fine funeral homes. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Coming up on 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News, I'm Vince Vitrano. It's February 21st, and our top story, an apartment fire in Milwaukee. We now know the cause this morning.
I'm Erik Bilstad, Votorama in Washington.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Our delays have pretty much dissipated across the entire system. Just have a couple of areas that we want to keep an eye on. For example, northbound 94 at 7 Mile Road might have some lane closures because of an incident there. But other than that, we're looking good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your Storm Team forecast for today. Pretty nice weekend if you actually want to get out and enjoy winter weather, right? You want to ski, you want to snowshoe, you want to do all those things, snowmobile. High of 28 degrees today and a lot of sunshine. Tonight's low down to 12 at the lake, 7 degrees your low temp inland. For Saturday, a high of 29 under partly cloudy skies, and then we start to warm up. Sunday's high 38. Right now at 13, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, space heaters, according to authorities, are to blame for a large apartment fire that broke out early this morning, Milwaukee's far northwest side. It was a blaze at Willow Court Apartments, about 89th and Lynx. Some 20 people evacuated. Crews say it appears to have been caused by space heaters that were too close to flammable materials. Here's Battalion Chief Nicholas Troust.
We had an apartment filled with residents at the time of arrival. Beyond the complexity of fighting a fire, we also had the fact that we were trying to get a bunch of people rescued from that building as well.
And no injuries reported, though. That's the good news. And the Red Cross is working with at least 7 people who are trying to find a place to stay.
Funds for school resource offices are now a go at Milwaukee Public Schools. There's a decision by the Board of School Directors on Thursday night. They voted unanimously to provide 50% of the pay to SROs. The rest will come from the city of Milwaukee. Now, MPS agreeing to pay nearly $800,000, part of the splitting of the costs. That was ordered by a Milwaukee Circuit Court judge. Interim Superintendent Eduardo Galvan says the district's plan now has been forwarded to the city attorney's office.
Milwaukee area's top federal prosecutor out of a job. Now, incoming presidents typically change out prosecutors in the U.S. attorney's offices, though this move does come early in President Trump's second term. Gregory Hanstead was removed from his position as U.S. attorney for Wisconsin's Eastern District. The move comes as President Trump continues to remove Biden-area judges and prosecutors from across the country.
Outrage in Israel. Officials say the remains handed over to them by Hamas were not the remains of a hostage.
The Israeli military's forensic test concluded that one of the 4 bodies Hamas handed over on Thursday was not that of Shiri Bibas, and the DNA did not match any of the other missing hostages. Her 2 sons, Ariel and Kafir, were identified. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alleging Hamas put the body of a Gazan woman in a coffin. Hamas claiming Bibas's remains were mixed with other human remains under the rubble where she was being held after Israeli airstrikes destroyed the area. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
European leaders scrambling to deal with the total reversal of U.S. policy. They say they're trying to understand what President Trump's motives are in Ukraine. Earlier this week, the president called Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, a dictator and blamed Ukraine for starting the war with Russia. Now, Politico's Sarah Wheaton says the realization is sinking in that no matter what, the United States is not to be counted on as an ally.
Just this morning, we heard a speech from Friedrich Merz in Germany, who's expected to become the chancellor there after Sunday's election in Germany, basically saying that we probably can't count on the U.S. nuclear umbrella anymore. And so he's asking Paris and London to back up Germany with their nuclear weapons instead of having to rely on the U.S.
French President Emmanuel Macron and Britain's Prime Minister are set to meet with Trump at the White House next week.
Democrats force a vote-a-rama on Capitol Hill as Republican senators work to approve their version of a budget bill. News Nation's Kelly Meyer.
What's a vote-a-rama? It sounds fun, but spoiler alert, it isn't that fun. It means senators, journalists, staff, they're all here overnight, and last night it went all night long for nearly 10 hours. So this is where senators propose unlimited number of amendments to budget-related items. Democrats wanted to get Republicans on the record on Trump's policies and went through the night voting on various amendments like tax cuts for billionaires, Medicaid, and even lower prices for eggs. Republicans, they want the $340 billion blueprint designed to support Trump's immigration enforcement efforts, energy production, and the military to pass.
Senator Rand Paul was the only Republican to vote against it.
Time for news about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Just off the opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow fell more than 1% in trading on Thursday and now is down another 251 points. It's at 43,918. Boy, that just jumped. Down 258 points now is the Dow. S&P 500 falling 7 to 6110, and the Nasdaq at 19,996. That is actually up 34 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
What's a vote-a-rama? It sounds fun.
As an independent tire and service center, our loyalty is to you, not the manufacturer.
It's the tire manufacturer's goal to design a superior tire.
But it's our job to ensure the right tires are properly installed on your vehicle.
A service our family has been independently providing for the past 2 generations. So make no mistake about it, our loyalty is to you.
And the dozens of tire brands we carry, like Goodyear, General, and Pirelli,
or Continental, Kelly, and Dunlop, well, that's for you too.
Because we won't know what type of tire you need until you get here.
So instead, we carry them all.
Because we install them all.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair.
Which means you're 100% covered.
No questions asked.
I guess you could call it family tradition.
Be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're
due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
I know some of them got out. Did you see if there are still some cars stuck in the ice?
It appeared they were having success, so you'd like to think they were able to finish the job.
All kinds of crews were out there. We're talking about Milwaukee's east side. We mentioned this in our conversation with Wednesday and Thursday, but there was this water main break on Tuesday when our temperatures were stupid cold, and that's why that happens. You know, it's the freeze thaw, the back and forth. You got pipes underneath the streets in Milwaukee that are more than a century old, and
right.
It happens, right? Even if things are properly maintained and done, like that, it happens. But what had happened was it flooded this street, Franklin Street. It's just off of Brady.
I didn't realize how bad it was at first because the whole street was destroyed. So I walked down in the middle of the road, and the other side of my car, the wheels are not as encased, but they're coated in ice. So I just thought like there was ice on my car, and then I got in and realized I couldn't move it.
That's great sound there from TMJ4's Jenna Ray. She's talking both with this woman who came out and found that she couldn't move her car because it was encased in ice. And then also you hear all the activity there on the street as DPW brought out this heavy equipment to try and chip away at some of the ice. But some folks were still finding their cars stuck. There was another guy out there that talked to TMJ4 who was, towing people out or pulling people out or using some other tools and charging people what he said was a reasonable price. But we asked a couple of questions on that.
Okay.
Right.
Says the guy who's the only one offering to do this.
And what's your car worth to you getting it out? We talked about if you end up paying this guy to tow you out or if your car is somehow damaged, like what is your recourse? And I did get in touch with a lawyer buddy of mine who he does a lot of municipal work. So he's one of these guys that's really wonky, but a very important work. He testifies before city, town, village board, committee meetings, zoning and stuff like that, and representing his clients. But so he kind of knows how this stuff works. And I'm like, are these folks going to get any money back from the city? And he said basically their best recourse was, well, the first thing he said is, actually what would work is I've got this propane torch. I'm not kidding you.
No, that would not work.
No, I use it on my property. He's got a place up in Shawano County there. And he's like, no, you get the big old tank and you can really, I'm like, okay, but on the legality here, let's assume you don't use that. He said really the best recourse for these folks is to get somebody out there from the city, make your alderman or woman, and in this case it's 3rd District, so they don't have somebody in that seat right now, but there are staffers there. Get them on your side and get the city to help you get this stuff out, because he's like, if you're filing a claim after the fact, what usually happens, here's his words, what typically happens is those are routinely denied.
Right, of course.
So, you file a claim for whatever, rubber stamp, nah. And then what that leaves you with is, all right, well, do I want to get a lawyer? Do I want to try to litigate this, fight this in court somehow, some way? And then what a lot of folks realize is, even if it was a few $100s damage or the cost of a tow, well, you're going to spend more on lawyers' fees or court fees and all that, so never mind.
It's not worth it at that point.
Right, so then they end up doing it, or sometimes they end up paying that lawyer and they still lose. So that's not great. What we did see was DPW out there spreading calcium chloride.
Now, that's not to be confused with salt. It's a little bit different.
A little chemistry for you. CaCl would be the calcium chloride. NaCl is your salt, your sodium chloride. I remember that and only that from chemistry.
So anyway, it can attack an
It's
ice
better in the super cold,
deeper
right?
freeze.
But it didn't seem to be getting everybody out. You still had folks stuck. We had various suggestions here on the program.
Right. One was we had a couple of people suggest torch. One person suggested a jackhammer.
in earnest, said, "Yeah, get yourself a jackhammer, and then you can."
Impact hammer was another one. Get one of those from Home Depot. An ice bar of some sort was also
various different types of chemicals, which I'm not sure would have been legal to dump into the street.
A couple of the chemicals. I agree with you. That might have been a problem.
Well, so Adam Roberts in our newsroom, he contacted the Milwaukee Waterworks and actually talked with the superintendent over there, Patrick Pauly,
suggesting things such as de-icer, jackhammers, impact hammers, an ice bar. Would you say that those sort of DIY approaches, given the unusual nature of what we're dealing with here, is that okay to do, or is it best to just sit tight and wait for Waterworks to tackle it the best way they know how?
I would not recommend any of those DIY approaches that you mentioned. They sound dangerous.
Listen, let me stop you there, news guy. Actually, I wouldn't do any of those things.
No jackhammer, please.
Right. Not good for your car, not good for the street, and probably dangerous. So any of that stuff you just mentioned, I would not do any of those.
Perhaps him asking that, maybe Adam helped the cause. That sparked him to get moving. Okay, hey, we got to get somebody out there to help these.
We're going to have people with their own jackhammers next to Brady Street hammering away. So in short, as he mentioned, probably some of those things not a good idea. So I guess you've got the warm-up coming. You hope the calcium chloride works. My lawyer buddy did finish his text with this. For what it's worth, I really think my torch would work. He added that. $50 at Menards. He's trying to sell me on that. He goes, better than the jackhammer. Okay. Maybe we should all just stay in our lanes here. Sounded like good legal advice.
Yes.
The torch notwithstanding. 8:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, you know what we got coming up? Got ourselves a breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Pancake Hill is readying his pancake breakfast special.
right.
We'll do that next. Why don't you do the roads here, Deb?
All right, well, we do have a crash on the ramp from Silver Spring to 41 southbound. Watch out for that. Rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. There is an incident, though, on northbound 94 right about at 7 Mile Road. Don't know if they've closed off any lanes because they've turned that camera off. So just be careful if you're going to be heading through those areas. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Just told you we got spring training baseball on the air here coming up this weekend. So it is baseball season. Want to tell you about something that you can get in on this weekend as well. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is hosting a free coaches clinic on mechanics and injury prevention for youth baseball. So important. Ideal for 7U to 14U baseball coaches. The clinic is set for Sunday evening, so 6 to 7 p.m., and it's at the OAW Indoor Sports Complex, which is an amazing facility out there in New Berlin. And this will be presented by PT Josh Howard. He's an expert in preventing, most important, and then also managing those baseball injuries that do happen. His topics will include pitching mechanics, common injuries, arm care strategies, and everything else to keep players on the playing field and get them back safely and timely once they're hurt. This event has some limited spots, so they'd like you to RSVP. And you do that at OAW Indoor. That's OAWindoor.com today.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's the best in the business. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. They know at Guthrie and Fry that better water makes a big difference. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
8:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Busy week. A lot going on.
Yeah.
And yet somehow some things that we discussed as possibilities for the show still didn't make it into the rundown. So we asked Greg Pancake Hill, producer of the program, to whip up a little something with the leftovers in a segment we call the Pancake Breakfast Special.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
Oh, sweet, sweet justice. We've all seen this before, right? Almost every sporting event, sport team has this promotion. One person chosen from the crowd randomly has to make a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot. We are familiar with this contest, yes?
I like it every time.
Right. University of Massachusetts, UMass, runs the same promotion. 25 seconds to make all those shots to win $10,000. A student, Noah, was chosen, and wouldn't you know it? A video being filmed by his friend in the crowd. Pretty cool, right? Noah makes the half-court shot, $10,000 in his pocket. However, straight out of a movie, and you can pick which one upon further review.
Over the line!
Huh?
I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
According to the Associated Press, the insurance company who was sponsoring this promotion said that they used not one, not two, but 4 camera angles to determine that Noah stepped on the line.
No way.
4 camera angles? It's like NFL-level surveillance.
Father Patty stepped on the line. He stepped on.
No, it was legal.
No, he stepped on the line. You were looking at. Come on.
Jackie, he made the shot.
Who the hell has $10,000?
Relax. The beer company will pay him.
They're not really a sponsor. Just sounded professional.
So I'm imagining that's a little bit how it went with the sponsors. So instead, UMass offered Noah the consolation prize of tickets in a suite for a men's basketball game, courtside tickets to a women's basketball game, a $100 gift card to the school team store, a swag bag of UMass gear, and here's the best part, a chance to participate in the same promotion, but if he makes a half-court shot, it'll be worth $1,000 instead of $10,000. Yeah, what are we doing? Pretty weak. So obviously this goes mega viral because of the friend who filmed it. And what's the best way to solve injustice? It's going to the court of public opinion. SportsCenter, Barstool Sports, CBS, ABC, and even more got wind of this and put it on their programs. And after enough pressure, you guys, what did the insurance company do?
Please tell me they buckled.
They absolutely did not. They did not.
Oh, no.
No chance. They still haven't paid. However, UMass's men's basketball head coach Frank Martin, obviously has some pull with the university because he tweeted that he was going to get this resolved. Athletic director Ryan Bamford, has said that Noah will get his $10,000 through the university. And my friends, that's what we call justice.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
Hey.
You know what tuition is at UMass?
Ooh, please tell me.
Minimum $40K a year.
Jeez.
$10,000? That's so lame. Didn't that guy get $1 million for hitting or $100,000 for hitting the half quarter at the All-Star game?
Also,
or he dropped one three-pointer, that one guy at the All-Star game.
Yeah, and he got to swim in a barrel of cash.
One three-pointer, and he got $100K.
The disparagement in these prizes is also very concerning. Right. I've seen some dude sink a putt, full court putt. He got like $3,000.
Right.
What?
Right.
Wow.
That's like impossible.
That'll buy you about 2 months there at UMass. Congrats.
Yeah.
Somebody pay the man. Go ahead, Deb.
All right. Well, we don't have really any delays out there right now, but we do have an incident northbound 94 at 7 Mile Road. They may have to close off some lanes right now. I'm not quite sure what the incident is. Other than that, crash on the ramp from Silver Spring to southbound 41. And again, that's not really affecting the main line. It's on the ramp there. So everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Into Durant, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Durant spinning, fading, shooting, got it at the buzzer! Brooklyn wins 110-109. No, it's a two-pointer.
While the Wizards have had a brutal year, at least they stay on brand by making all their wins disappear.
The Hoopers in our nation's capital went a full month without winning a game. It's not even American.
The Bucks head to D.C. to take on the Wizards.
Pocket pass to Giannis, who soars in and plunges it through with a one-hand slam.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. I'm about to save you some money. Shopco Optical, the name I know and trust for vision exams and for my glasses, all in one location and with discounts galore. So you already know anytime you buy a pair of glasses at Shopco Optical, each additional pair is 50% off. There are other great ways to save. You go to shopco.com and click on the special offers page. More than half a dozen other offers, many of them for big savings on contact lenses, if that's more your thing. And I'm talking like hundreds of dollars off on your order. Put your eye care benefits to work. Use your FSA dollars to cover things. And now, with your better vision, you'll see big savings, too. You see what I did there? Call Shopco Optical or get started online at shopco.com to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Nice weekend if you want to get outside and enjoy winter weather. High of 28 degrees today under sunny skies. Pretty cold tonight. Lakeside low will be 12. 7 degrees your low temperature away from Lake Michigan. Saturday high of 29 under partly cloudy skies. And Sunday we start the front end of a warm-up, mostly cloudy. At night, a slight chance of a rain-snow mix, particularly north of the city, and a high of 38 degrees. Right now at 14 in the city. Still haven't heard from my buddy. I hope he's out of town or whatever. I don't know.
You think maybe he was watching the game and it was a late night?
No, knowing him, he would have been right back on my text. I have this friend who's, I think he still has family in Winnipeg. So he's Canadian by birth and is a dual citizen. He lives here now and one of my best friends. But I texted him on the front end before the puck drop yesterday talking all sorts of smack about USA, Canada. I may have dropped a 51st state get on board.
I'm surprised.
And I've received no response.
I mean, this is how the game ended. Canada ended up winning.
Centering pass, McDavid scores! Connor McDavid wins it for Canada!
Canada would win in overtime 3-2 thanks to that Connor McDavid shot there. That's how it sounded on ESPN.
Great game, great atmosphere. Amazing thing that's happened in hockey over the last week.
That style. So what the game was, it was an exhibition game. It was the culmination of a round-robin style tournament. It was part of the National Hockey League's All-Star break. So that's what the NHL did. They had this round-robin tournament, and it worked out. You had that crazy game last weekend between U.S. and Canada. Then you had it again last night, and it was in Boston, and there was even a controversy. The Canadian anthem singer, she even getting into it during the anthem.
True patriot love that only us command.
Oh, baby, changing the lyrics. The lyric there in "O Canada" is "In all of us command." in all of us
Okay.
together, right? Well, that's Chantel Kuriasic. She's a Grammy winner. She changed it to that only us command. Changed it. And she confirms after the fact, no, that was because of what Trump's been saying about us.
Patriot love that only us command.
Whoa, here we go.
All right.
And everyone gasped. No one noticed. No one noticed.
Well, there were plenty of Canadians in the house.
Oh, yeah.
You're
No, they were
suggesting
cheering
they
at the
didn't
end of
notice
it.
that she changed the words
I
to
don't
their
think
own national
anyone
anthem.
really picked up on it, but who knows?
Can you imagine how nuts the Olympics are going to be next year?
Yeah, and that's the coolest part is when you hear the players talking about it. They're like, we can't wait till next year. It's just, if it was this exciting right now for this exhibition, just wait till the Olympics. It'll be fire, if you will.
And Mark, I'm sorry. Call me.
What's a Votorama? It sounds fun.
These are your business headlines.